That was the best intro ever. Just live. So what's up? What's up? I don't know. How's everyone doing? I haven't seen you guys in a couple weeks. I've been away doing stuff.
I've been good. I've been chilling. I saw Tap, but we talked about it last week. We missed you last week. CZ was on.
Yeah,
Lewis was
Oh,
on.
I know. I saw that. I was so pissed.
It was
I
fun.
wanted to be there.
that was a good,
How'd it go?
good time.
Yeah.
How's your meetup, Tab? I can't believe you got to meet Danny Boy in the flesh. Where'd he go?
Oh, he's coming back. How was your meetup? He asked.
How's your
Yeah.
meetup?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, cool. It was fun. We had a good time. I took him to Escabibbles on South Street. It's a little famous joint to get a Philly cheesesteak. If you ever in Philadelphia, go to South Street, Escabibbles, ISHKABLES, whatever. Google it, you'll find it. I got to meet his wife, and we just sat down, talked, and ate the whole time. She was talking to me and us about, Hex thing, like why we so hype over it. Why do we dedicate so much of our time and energy on it when we don't get paid for it? We was on breaking that down. It was a good time.
This is actually a good thing to talk about, I think. What is Puelo, if you have a significant other, what do we all say to our significant others when they're like, what the fuck are you doing on Twitter all day? Or what are you doing when you're going on these streams or watching these people? What do you say?
Yeah, bro. My lady, she's
There he is.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
look, 8 p.m. and here I am.
He got my
What's
DM.
going on?
What's
bro,
happening?
my lady, she's like really chill about it. I try to explain it to her. I've done my best, and she's still like, she gets it. She knows what it is. She's seen it go up. She's seen it go down. Still doesn't know what a t-shirt is. But I what's funny? I think her family has her parents have a better understanding of it than she does. Her parents are invested. She did like 1 or 2 stakes, I think. But yeah, I'm the one that goes heavy. I go hard in the paint when it comes to like the whole hex thing. She just kind of like do your thing, So, but she's not
Johnny,
really involved.
what we were saying there before you popped in, Johnny, was we're interested to hear what our significant others and other friends think about the energy and stuff we put into the community and building things in the community when we're not getting paid. And what do you say to some of your friends around there when they're like, what is this thing that you've been in for the last 2.5 years and why do you still do it?
Well, the wife doesn't dig it all that much. Obviously, we just had our 18th anniversary.
Congratulations.
So I have not been online most of this week. I'll stop in for Twitter and such, but people wanted me to be part of the convention and stuff, and it's like, no, sorry, ain't gonna happen because you have to call it at some point, right? So, but yeah, she's not a fan of the fact that I'm spending my energy doing this. She doesn't understand why. I spend so much time doing it. She's like, it's other people's problem. Why are you concerned? I said, because there's just so much damage that people could do to themselves here. But I mean, she gets it because, I've got she's kind of encouraged me to teach, I guess. Like I used to teach art classes and special effects classes and stuff. And she said, that I was always good at teaching and that I should, teach. And I'm like, well, you told me to teach. It's just a different topic now, right? So,
what about you, Tap? What's your old lady think of your girlfriend?
For the most part, she's happy that I have like my own hobby, like that I have my own thing to do. Now, once I start giving her the details, I'm saying, hey, I'm a part of the community. Hey, I'm going to actually meet these people. Hey, I'm actually going to Vegas to meet a whole bunch of people from the internet I've never actually met before.
Oh, hey, all the bots.
All the bots.
All the bots. I'll be right back, guys. I got to let the beagle out because I just realized it is 8 o'clock.
All right. But as the journey has kept on going, like for me, I'm going to keep repeating this. in 1 week it's going to be a full year since I've been into Hex. Since I like made my first stake, been a part of the community, probably made my first Hex tweet. So she has been a part of the journey of everything that has happened. And she sees all the positive that's come out of it. Like, I'm not saying money wise, but the amount of knowledge, the amount of networking I have, the amount of people that support me. She really has enjoyed. Well, she kind of enjoyed me having fun with it. Like she enjoyed me having smiles about it, and great stories to come back and tell. Because girls always love good gossip, a little gossip. So I can go back and tell her about some drama that's probably going on recently. And we could pillow talk about that.
Oh, we will.
But really, she's happy I have my own thing, and she has been along for the journey. She is pretty positive. She has a positive reaction of everything that has happened so far.
Does anyone think you're crazy?
My family thinks I'm crazy. My friends kind of are now starting to get what I'm doing. My family still thinks I'm crazy, especially because I went to Vegas. Like they still can't wrap their minds around that, even though it's happened months ago now.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Danny boy?
Yeah, I mean, my girl's supportive, but at the same time, she thinks I'm part of a cult. She's invested in it, which is a great thing.
She legit said that too. She actually said that. That was hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, what else is there to say? I just spent too much time on it, in her opinion. But
well, I think
we got to make some money, and then she'll be all about it. That's all that matters.
I mean, but what else could we be spending our time on? You get what I'm saying?
Telenovelas.
Exactly. Like at least we're doing something that's somewhat constructive. Like we're actively using our mind, our thoughts, communicating with other people, juicing up communication skills, et cetera, et cetera. Or at least we're not just sitting around, just lobbing around on the couch, video games or TV all day.
Yeah, but
at least that's how my
my
girlfriend sees it.
That's the male rational thought, right? But women are a little bit more emotional with the way they think about things. So if it doesn't make sense to them, it's not gonna matter no matter what, So
yeah, my wife is just like, where's the money? She's like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Where's the money? She goes, I believe it.
Oh, you talk about all this money. Where's the money at? You're right.
Which is kind of good, right? Because it keeps you grounded. But it's like, hey, don't let that hot air balloon fly too far away, because they're at the other end of the fucking thing, pulling you back down. Go, nope.
It's so fun trying to explain to your girlfriend why you decide to spend X amount of money instead of using it as like shopping or like going out. You just be like, you could have taken me out with that money you put into Hex, yada yada. You're like, you're right. Just wait a couple years, okay? Just wait a couple years.
Yeah, it's like
I just gotta hang on to it. I just gotta hang on to like, all right, just 2 years.
We could have gone out for one dinner tonight, or that one dinner, if we stake it for a while, it could turn into 100 dinners down the line.
Look, baby, if you just delay gratification.
It is
that's what she said. I want you to buy me a ring, motherfucker. Hey, sweetie, delayed gratification.
Facts.
The longer you wait for me to propose, the bigger that ring could be.
The top is in the top is in anyway. That's not.
Oh yeah, I've tried to get other people and friends and stuff, but they just don't get it. Some people just don't get it.
Yeah, I think I was like 100 friends that I maybe told about. Maybe like 5 got involved. I had a buddy who made 6 figures on it. Actually, I had a couple of friends that made 6 figures on Hex, because I got them like around 2 years ago. But they did pretty good with it, and that's the reason they believe in it. And then that belief kind of built the new generation of people that I've been able to onboard, because they were just like, "Yo, check it out." You feel me? The results speak for themselves. You just got to be involved long enough to be able to just see the price go up. Really,
right?
That's all it is. Yeah.
Were those guys just like traders, or did some of them stake? Like they believe long-term
at all.
staking?
They were all just like super, just traditional, 9-to-5 workers. Nothing crazy, and they all. And I don't know. I think because I live in Florida. In Florida, I guess I'm gonna speak for here because this is what I just see like locally. But there's like a big trading kind of investing culture here, right? And so you just see a lot of people wanting to get into it. It's like the easy way to make money, I guess. Like if like it's just everywhere, bro. On Instagram, you see it on all these different ads. Like they target you. You know, they target you with trading and all this conversation. And so yeah, like for them, everybody wants to get involved, but they just didn't know how. I had a couple people that listen, and they listened specifically for hex, and it went pretty well for them.
So what about the new stuff? How do they feel about Richard?
Oh yeah, no, they've been doing pretty good with that too. I mean, I put him on to Richard, but Richard's an acquired taste, right? So ultimately, not everyone's gonna fly with that, but they do like the idea of like the technology and all this other stuff. Buddies of mine, they did sacrifice. They did jump into PULSEX. They didn't listen for PulseChain because I was in Colombia for PulseChain, so I was in another country for like 3 months, and when I was out there, it was just kind of like I was with them, but I was with them through social, like posting and stuff. It wasn't really like I was near them, talking to them, showing them. So I guess for that reason, that when I was talking about PulseChain, they didn't really get involved. But once I was back in the States and we all sat down and stuff, everybody was like, "Oh, okay, so that's what PulseX is. All right, I'm gonna get involved with that." Yeah.
Yo,
Nice.
Dan, nod your head if you can hear me.
What's going on?
Oh shit, I hear you. I hear you. What's good? What's good? What's good, Hexicans?
What's going on, buddy?
What's
How you
up?
doing?
How you doing?
What's his channel
It's
there,
your
man?
boy.
Can't
Hey,
see.
it's your boy, man.
How's Europe?
Hey, you guys rich yet or what?
We're
Been
waiting.
rich.
Get rich
Nah,
slow,
you gotta-
man. Get
we've
rich
been
slow.
rich. We've been rich.
Look at Dan. Look at Dan. Hey, Dan's my man, bro. Hey, that's my brother for life. Just know
I
that.
like your hat, my brother.
What hat is that?
Hold on, the baby's crying. I'll be right back.
It's a Florida hat.
Oh, it's
Florida
a Florida
Marlins,
Marlins
baby.
hat.
That's the
Florida
old school.
boy.
Yes, sir. Old school.
We gotta
hat.
get you. We gotta get you a Blue
Tell,
Jays
hey, I'm with the Hexicans right now. I'm with the real Hexicans.
hat. I guess so. Johnny, that was a hell of a rant you had there earlier, man.
I've been building it up.
I thought
I've
you
been
were.
trying really hard to just not, because I do not see any benefit from attacking anybody that has any show that is possibly reaching a different audience that we may not be reaching. I don't see any benefit to that. The problem is when we create drama where there isn't,
Mhm.
and we start targeting our own, and we start making statements that are derogatory about the community in general, and start generalizing and start grouping to defend narratives. That's where I have the problem, because we've seen it before. We've seen it before, and we tried to protect the community about it before. And I see these same things reoccurring again, and it would be irresponsible for me, knowing that how this developed earlier on, and not to say, not to bring attention to it now.
Can you give us a little a brief history lesson then of, let's go back 2.5 years or 2 years when the M word originally reared its ugly head, like you were saying in your stream there, where nothing, like, because I didn't see it because I've only been in like 1.5 years or so, not even.
So we had a lot of coins at the beginning that said, "Oh, we're going to bring adoption to Hex."
Right.
Oh, we're just going to build on Hex. It's gonna engage people more. We had a shrimp game where you bought eggs and you cashed them in for Hex.
Like a play to earn.
Yeah, a way to earn Hex. Yeah, so you're farming these eggs, and what you were actually doing was they were farming your Hex. So that just went belly up. They took all your Hex and they dumped it on the market. We had games where they take a 10% feed enter and a 10% feed exit, which is basically proof of weak hands. Same thing as Safe Moon, right?
That drip token does that too.
Yeah, you get the idea here.
Yeah, the drip thing does the same thing. 10%
and that
sale.
money gets sold. That gets sold on your head.
Yeah.
That's what that's designed to do. And we had there's like 12. I don't want to go through them all. I don't want to name them all, but there was like 12 different coins that did that. We had, the most predominant influencer in our space at the time. Him I will name, Peter Gurr, Nightly Crypto, came in, told everybody to buy Hex, and sold on their heads. Literally got everybody in, and then sold on their heads, and then bragged about making his 2.5x before Hex even hit a penny. So, and then he created his WISE token, which eliminated the OA. I'm going to eliminate the OA. It's going to be fair distribution, and we're going to lock liquidity.
Say goodbye to your yield then.
Death. So, and these people, were charismatic people, and they came in, and their biggest thing was they would target the Hexicans and say, oh, you guys are gatekeeping us. You should be more empathetic on what gatekeeping's like, since Hex was gatekept. You should be empathetic. You should shut up. You should do your own research. You haven't done your research. Do your research. So they would throw back the whole narrative of Hex back at us and get people to shut up about it so other people could get scammed. Right? So we're seeing it again. These guys are maxis. They don't want anything else to succeed other than Hex. We're seeing it again.
So let's define the term. What is maximalism?
No other coin will do, I guess.
Let's go around the room. What does everyone think that means? It might mean something different to somebody else. What do you think?
Well,
Dan? You there?
I think it means a red flag when people start attacking their own community for liking the things that they like.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
Yo, my bad, guys, about the background. I'm outside.
No problem.
All good,
I'm
man.
listening, though. I'm listening.
What do you think, Dan?
I agree with JC there.
Yeah.
I mean, we all have the same goal, trying to make it out. So whether no one should be a maximalist at the end of the day.
Yo,
you know?
Dan, your signal is crazy right now. It's like echoing in my shit. I don't know.
That comment, Romanian Dan has a Bitcoin Cash Maxi.
Romanian Dan. Hey, that's my brother for life.
So Johnny, where do we go? What about when you want to say, like, it's not it's how can you say to somebody it's not maximalism when the product is just better?
Well, it's kind of like this.
Does that make sense? Kind of, because
It's kind of like this. If something cannot survive scrutiny, and they're afraid of scrutiny, and they're afraid of being questioned, that's another red flag for me. So if they are going to blame other people for the failure or success of their product, I don't see where it's a problem to call them out on that.
No,
Okay?
not at all.
If my opinion stops their coin, well, their coin's proposition must not be very good.
Yeah.
So I don't like this idea of people trying to blame others for the success or failure of their token. If it is going to survive, it's going to survive.
It's the worst damn crypto, fucking Hex.
Do what?
It's the worst damn crypto, Hex.
It's the worst damn crypto.
I'm just kidding. I'm listening. My bad. I'm drunk.
So if it's not, Hex has survived maximum scrutiny. Hex has survived maximum ridicule. Hex is still here. Why can't your token do so if it's such a great thing? I mean, you don't have to be toxic about it, No one's running around here and they like to add that toxic to it. Toxic maximalists. I think there are a lot of people running around with Hex badges in their name that aren't even real Hexicans. I think there are a lot of people that are just spreading toxicity out there, and I don't think people need to be saying that the Hex community is toxic because somebody's running around with the Hex bag, rah rah rah, and for their team.
That's me. That's me.
That's you.
So do you think that?
Stop being toxic then.
No, but for real, like I thought that shit was gonna go crazy, and then I lost hella money on it.
You didn't lose anything if you didn't sell.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I sold because nothing came up.
We can't.
No, but the thing is, like,
so
bro, I don't know
you
anything
either
about
believe or
crypto.
you
I
don't
just know
believe
from
in the
what
product.
The first rule about crypto is don't sell your crypto, bro.
You lock in your
can't sell
losses.
Yeah.
You didn't have losses. Now you're going to be the guy of, oh my gosh, I sold my Bitcoin for 8 cents and now it's 30 cents. You're going to be that guy.
Yeah.
Did you watch?
That's
Go
exactly
Google.
what happened. That's exactly what
Go
happened.
Google. Why did I sell my hex, man? Somebody should have been obligated to share that video with you.
Because I'm a greedy
Google,
fuck. I know. I'm an
Google
idiot.
on YouTube. Why did I sell my hex, man? And this guy started out with all the best intentions in the world, thinking, yeah, I don't want to miss out. It's going to go to the moon. And then he capitulated. That's called capitulation. That's where you lose faith in yourself and you push that button. So no one wrecked you in hex.
Yeah, but that shit's at like 5 cents right now.
It does. Nothing goes up. Nothing goes up forever. This is part of the bull market. You learned this in 2017. Even the shittiest, the shit coins pumped, right? And everybody thought they were a genius because they could throw a dart at a dartboard and pick a coin and say that coin's going up in value. And then these influencers got all this following because people were watching them going, you know what? He was right. He said that coin went up and it did. And it's about the equivalent of telling you you're going to get wet when you're standing in the rain. I mean, that really is the equivalent, right?
Yeah, no,
things with product market fit bounce back. This year, Doge is still 6 cents. Doge has never went over a penny. Never. Okay? It went up as high.
But what if it's just all a cult following shit, bro?
What cult following?
Just to get the bigger man rich.
See, we gotta train this guy crypto.
Yeah, you guys stick around more often, bro. For real.
I mean, bro,
they're not bad questions. They're not bad questions, though.
Romanian Dan's been teaching me about it, and I don't know much about it. But
nah, it's good. Look, the first thing you can do is
why didn't
never
Dan
sell
tell
your
you to
hex.
stake?
Yeah,
That's what Dan
never
should have
sell
told
your
you
hex
at the
below what
thing.
you bought it for, because if you do, you're just gonna lock in those losses. The point JC made was very true, and that goes for any crypto. More than likely, if it has product market fit, is gonna go back up. You just gotta let the market cycle play out. You know, the market cycle is usually.
I hear people saying that like this shit is just gonna go all to zero.
Who said
Yeah,
that?
people are gonna say what they want to say, bro. That's totally cool.
Like crypto is just gonna fall off.
The real question is, who do you
Bitcoin
listen to? You
died
just
400
mentioned.
times. Look up Bitcoin obituaries. It died 400 times. Bitcoin has been told to go to zero 400 times. Hex has dipped more than 60%, 10 times. We still have another 390 whatever times to go yet. So this is what happens is, yeah, these things crash. It says right on Hex website, cryptocurrency can crash 80, 70, 80, 90%. And then it goes on to do new all-time highs. Volatility is the price that you pay for the high.
I mean, obviously I got faith, bro, because I'm on here and I got faith in my brother, but that's the only thing that's holding me down. Dan
now you're in a position. What did you sell at? Did you sell at a higher price than it is now?
Of course, but I sold it when it was way more.
Or you bought it when it was way more and you sold it.
But I bought it at like 29 cents, and then I sold it at like 20 something, 18. But I thought it was gonna go up because it was at 50 something. I put like 20 G's in it.
Jesus.
And you saw.
Yeah,
First of all,
man.
rule number one of crypto: only what you can afford to lose.
Yeah, but if I put 20 G's and I lost it to 8 cents that it's at now, I would have been even more fucked.
Yeah, but now you can buy it back at the bottom and ride it back up.
Oh, but that's like playing blackjack.
Bro, you're listening to someone who's giving you advice, and he's been in the game for years, bro. Like, this is a guy who's been doing it for a minute, and that's the thing. If you're gonna listen to someone that tells you, "Oh, it's gonna go to zero," what does that person know over someone who's been in the game for years?
Nah, I just hear it on Instagram and shit. I don't know.
Yeah, bro, you're listening to the wrong people. The question is, who do you listen to? Who do you listen to? If you listen to everybody, you're gonna get swindled every time you listen to someone and they tell you something that catches your attention.
The world,
you gotta find one person.
Full of people that are going to tell you can't.
Yeah, man.
The world is full of people that are going to tell you can't. You know why? Because it's crabs in a barrel, man. Most of the world is going to drag you down with them. They do not want you to be more successful than them. They are going to drag you down. They don't want you to be crypto rich. They don't want to wake up one day and listen to you bragging about being a millionaire. They don't.
Oh, and nobody's going to talk good about stuff they don't own either.
And if they don't have the same opportunity that you do, they're going to want to drag you down with them. And you know what? Bitcoin was a scam for years. I did not buy Bitcoin when it was a penny, and I could have. Okay? I didn't understand the value of it then. I didn't understand the value of it until it ran up to $2,000. And then I said, wait a second here. Apparently,
maybe this is something I should consider.
Apparently, I'm
time
wrong.
was at a penny.
You know, I didn't think this thing was going anywhere, and reality proved me wrong. I had to change my reality. I never thought it would go up to $2,000, and that's when everybody else jumped in, and that's when we made the first top in 2017, where it ran up to $20,000 because everybody's like, "Oh my God, it's going to the moon!" Everybody jumps in, they buy it because it goes up, and they sell it because it goes down.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
and in crypto,
greed, bro. Greed, bro.
That's what you did, and
I did.
I'm going to tell you what. Set out until you learn more. Don't be throwing your money in, making more mistakes until you learn more, because you are going to fall into the same trap where you're selling tops or you're selling bottoms and buying tops. When Hex takes off again, you're going to want to buy. Don't. Set it out.
Did you look at the chart at all before you bought it?
Because you're gonna ride it all the way up, and then you're gonna think it's gonna go to a place it's not gonna go. It's not gonna get there, and you're gonna sell at a loss again. You have to learn. You have to retrain your behavior. You know, you don't take one martial arts class and think you're gonna jump into the octagon and go fight the champ.
No, that's what I thought. No, exactly.
You can't do that in crypto either.
You said it perfectly.
If you are buying what they are shoving down your throat, you are almost guaranteed to lose, because this YouTuber, that YouTuber, this influencer, that influencer is being paid to sell you a coin that they are.
Hey, Romanian Dan was my influencer, man.
Well,
I put him on. He just sold it.
It was that guy on Instagram.
If you were safe.
Nah, Romanian Dan told me to buy it at 5 cents, and then it went to.
Yeah,
50.
but you listen to someone that told you to sell, but that's not it.
He didn't tell me to sell. I sold him.
Yeah, someone else did. So exactly, but you didn't listen to Dan. If you're listening to Dan,
I needed the money, bro. I needed the money.
If you needed the money, you should have never put that money in.
Yeah, but I gamble. I like to gamble.
People over leverage. They bet more than they can afford to lose, and then they blame everybody else. We were talking
but I like to gamble, baby. I'm trying to win big or go home.
That Florida hat fits you, bro.
You don't go big or go home. That's gambling. Are you investing or are you gambling? If you're gambling, get the fuck out of crypto. You're going to lose your ass.
Yeah.
If you're investing,
the casino, I'm gonna lose either way.
And you save and you add chips. You know the difference between investing and gambling? Investing is when you're supposed to add more chips to your pile every single day. Gambling is when you bet it all on black and you think that you're going to win big and you're just going to walk out. There's a difference. We're not gambling here. We're investing. We earn more coins every day. We're adding to our stack.
That's because you guys are fucking what is it called?
Or what the suggested retail price is. We are getting more chips
staking
every single day.
Staking,
yeah. You get more chips every single day. Your number isn't going down if you're looking at the number of chips you have. The number's only going down. So you like to gamble. So imagine a roulette wheel that just goes around and then it stops at a different price, right? But your chips always stay on the table. And you know what? Every time that wheel spins, another day passes, you got more chips on the table. You're the one that chooses on whether or not you accept that price.
Yo, this guy's really hitting it on the head with the nail right now.
You got the sauce.
He does this all the time, though. This is what our community does.
I mean, I don't want anybody to lose money, man. I do this because I don't want people to lose money. I don't want people to have a gambling mentality. I don't want you to think you're going to get rich overnight. People did get very rich with Hex. But it's not because it happened overnight. We survived 10 dips. 10 dips. We've survived the price going up to 2 cents and back down to 0.033. Okay? We survived that we went from 2 cents up to 8 cents, and then people bought in at 8 cents. It went up to 16 cents almost instantaneously. And once we went into the 20 cents, it was already into the 30 cents because it can happen that quickly. It can happen that quickly.
Here's an example for you. A $10 million buy order of Hex, market order. What would that do, Johnny?
Puts us right back to all-time highs again.
Okay.
And $10 million purchase.
Right. I think, 10 or 20. So now, in by comparison, Shiba Inu, some guy a couple weeks ago purchased $200 million worth of shit and moved it 3%.
Oh,
3%.
in a coin that doesn't produce itself with a stupid ass amount of supply and a dog pitcher. Yeah. So even the stuff that
He
shouldn't
said,
cause
yeah.
the crypto to go up, and people will still buy it.
Yeah,
The stuff from 5 years ago that you look up on Nomics, stuff from 5 years ago, it's still up higher than it was from 5 years ago. Doge was never 6 cents. People drove that price up all the way to 80 cents. And the reason it did that was very simple. It was available, it was accessible, and it was affordable. That's it. It was on everybody's freaking phone on their Robinhood app, and everybody just went, "Oh, I heard about this coin. Buy." That's it. That's what drove it up. Nobody knows about Hex yet. You can't just buy Hex with one click. When you can buy Hex with one click, that's when you need to worry about selling. Because now everybody has access to it. Now the price can really perform. When it's hard to get, that's when you want it. It's like buying that rare collectible, dude. Like, I was big in the Magic cards back in the day. I don't know how old you are or if you remember those or not. for like 6 months.
He's got a Pokemon at his house.
There was 40 boxes on the local store shelf, and nobody wanted them. They sat on the shelf for 6 months. Set of
I got a Charizard, bro. I got a holographic Charizard, first edition.
Yeah, so you get it. So Magic back in the day was Pokemon of now, okay?
The Gathering.
Magic the Gathering?
And still, it created a market for Bitcoin. There was no market for Bitcoin other than the dark web shit. It really created and really pushed Bitcoin because people wanted their Magic cards. They would buy Bitcoin to buy their Magic cards online through Mt. Gox.
I remember I used to play RuneScape. I don't know if you guys play RuneScape.
Yeah, and there was stuff you could sell on RuneScape.
You could buy gold on RuneScape with Bitcoin and all that shit. Yeah.
And you learn the power of a centralized platform because that's what happens when they shut it off and then you don't get to keep anything. But the point being, what I'm saying is, man, those boxes sat on that shelf for 6 months. 24 packs in each box, $40 boxes. Each one of those packs is now $2,500.
That's crazy.
On a product that nobody wanted for 6 months. So that's what you got to keep in mind with these cryptos is nobody knows about it yet. You are still early, but you have to wait. You can't be in a hurry to hit that trigger because you think the price is going down. You have to be in for the long term. If you can't lose that money, then don't use that money. You don't have to put a lot in to win big. You just put in what you were going to gamble away anyway, what you're going to spend on beer money, what you're going to spend on lotto tickets, what you're going to spend on the strip club, and just not go that night. Put that money in there, and it could be a whole lot more, and forget about it. Stake it and say, I'll check on it in 2 years.
That's what Dan tells me all the time.
But what I'm telling you is don't go into this thinking that you got to put all of your money in and you got to make some kind of big play. This is a savings account. You don't check your savings account every 5 seconds. Okay?
Unless it's pumping.
You don't need to check your savings account probably even once a month. It's a savings account. That's what Hex is. It's a savings account. It's the first one of its kind on the blockchain. It's innovative. There has not been anything like this. Everything else is a speculative instrument. Hex is an actual savings account, and you can add chips to your chips every day, and you choose what price you decide to sell them at. It's like stocking your shelves of a store, man. You don't buy stuff to sell it at a cheaper price. You buy it so that it appreciates in value. You hold on to it and you wait for the price that you want. Then you sell some. And that's what you got to do with Hex.
Especially with Hex too. There's a lot of stuff aside from price that you may not. Are you just looking at price all the time, or do you look at anything else? Like, have you checked out the community at all? Have you seen how?
I mean, I know the community from Dan and what he tells me, but I don't really research it. I just believe whatever he tells me.
So the more I think you should dive, I think you should dive deeper into Hex and the community and all the on-chain analysis we have and the metrics that a lot of people don't take into consideration.
That's the thing. I'm not into it that much. Like
honestly, bro, that's not even a problem though. You just got if you just buy it and not sell it,
and what he
if you just buy it and not sell it,
you'll
be fine, bro.
Right, but what Johnny was trying to say there is that it's really hard unless you're crypto savvy and comfortable sending money over the internet to a self-custody wallet to buy your Hex. A lot of people can't do that, right? There's a bit of a learning curve to it. It's not easy to get to. And the other thing we've talked about on this show a lot of times is that Hex destroys a lot of business models out there. Like people don't want to list us because we're not about trading. We're about buying Hex once or accumulating Hex till you have enough T-shares, whatever you want to stake out, and then you lock it up for X amount of time and get it later. We're the most gate-kept crypto in the entire world. And it's starting to feel like now more and more walls are starting to come down. Like we're at a really good time. This is a great time. Like for me, I'm loading up as much as I can right now. But
yeah,
if like, I'm glad Dan's helping you out, but you should really like go look at Staker app. When people are saying like, oh man, the price dumped today, and people will go look at that guy's wallet and say, well, that guy's almost out. But what I'm looking at is how many people are purchasing versus sold. How many new stakers do we have? Is the staking trend over time still going up and to the right? Are we onboarding new people all the time? I'd rather have one guy dump 50 million and then a bunch of new people come in and you redistribute all that Hex that was with one guy because more people are getting it.
The thing is, you have to be in a position where you can wait. Okay. Any business that you're in, if you have the ability to say, no, I don't want to sell, you have a better ability to negotiate your price.
Right.
If you put yourself in a position where you're desperate and you need to sell because you're counting on
it's greed, bro. It's greed.
Well, if you're putting yourself in a position where you're
like
dependent on that.
I've had so many friends that made like 40, 50, 100 on crypto that was just like, damn, I can make that.
And I'm trying to tell you how to do it.
So what do they make it on?
You can either do it your way and
they make it on They made it on Shiba. They made it on Bitcoin and all that.
Because they were at the right place at the right time.
Did they tell you? Did they tell you their losses
in your lifetime?
Why can't I be at the right place at the right time?
Because it's time in the market.
Literally are.
You're
You literally are.
now, and I'm offering to educate you on how to do that. Now I'm starting to sound like Richard. Damn it.
No, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you.
Shit.
Like your buddies, it's like the gambler. Do you guys have one of those gambler friends? It's like, oh man, I made $1,000 this week. Well, I haven't heard from you in a few weeks. How much did you lose in the last 6 weeks?
Yeah.
So don't remember every time
we're in a 90% dip, man.
Look, man.
We're in a 90% dip.
This is all I'm gonna tell you. This is all I'm gonna tell you.
Yo, why can't I see your face?
Quit trying to do a lotto mentality thing and get one lump sum and get out, and start saving for your future by taking the money that you were going to spend anyway and put it in Hex right now at these prices, and watch not the price, but the amount of Hex that goes up when you're staking. He ran away.
And this is financial advice.
Bullish.
It is. Don't spend more than you're willing to lose. Number one.
Yep. Number one.
Number two, it's a savings account. It's not a get rich quick scheme. And trying to time the market and do what some random guy did on some shitcoin and try to time the market exactly the way that he did and try to replicate those same conditions is virtually impossible, and you're setting yourself up for failure. I'm trying to set people up for success. I don't want people to fail. If people are just going to fail all over the damn place, there really isn't use having a conversation. What frustrates me is that people want to throw shiny objects in front of people's faces. They get in with this get rich quick concept, and then they lose their ass, and they're no better off than they started with. And it frustrates me. And I don't know why, because it's not really my damn problem, because I know what to do. But I don't know.
No, you feel strongly about it because of the effects it can have on people. And that's real, bro. You're saving a lot of people. Yep. And I'd say don't stop being that type of person, because ultimately people like you are the individuals that create a story where someone says, damn, I listened to JC and I didn't do that, right? So don't stop, bro, because there may be a lot of naysayers, but there's people out there that are listening. So keep it up.
I had a friend that was 25 years old, and he got a gambling debt of about $100,000. He had a beautiful fiance. He had a wonderful, loving family. He had a bar that he managed and ran, and he spent some of that bar money that was his family's bar money. It was $100,000 or so, and he killed himself because he could not face his dad, because he couldn't face the fact that he lost that money. Do you really think his parents gave a shit about that money?
No.
Hell no. They lost their son. Do you think his wife gave a shit about that money? His future wife? No. She lost her fiance. And that shit sticks with you, you know? And you see people writing to Luna right now, writing to Celsius right now, and talking about how they had all their life savings in it because they over leveraged, they bit off more than they can chew, and now they're suicidal and thinking about ending it all because they don't know how they're ever going to start again.
Yeah.
That shit bothers me. And, you know, then we have petty squabbles in the crypto community. And then we've got people that are trying to lead people astray in the potential places where they can lost. And they expect me not to get work up.
Mm-hmm.
Because the problem is you can tell people till you're blue in the face not to invest more than you're willing to lose. And like our friend that was just with us here, oh, man, I got to put it all in. That's what you get.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd much rather them go all in on something like Hex, where they're at least earning more coins. And if they screw it up, you have to really screw up to screw up Hex. This other stuff is very much more speculative, and a lot of it is dependent on the success of Hex. So,
yeah, in my opinion, someone new who's coming into Hex, the only way you can really screw up is by not understanding your staking ladder and screwing that part up.
yeah, hitting the emergency unstake.
He wasn't even
staking. Selling, you know, hitting the emergency unstake and clicking that sell button because you're upset because the current suggested retail value happens to be down on that day. Current suggested retail value, the price that you see is what it's currently going for. It's not the value of, right? If you go to a store and you buy, and they currently have suggested retail value of a penny for a pop, you're probably going to buy all the damn pop that's there because you're like, holy shit, you're used to paying higher prices for it, right? And that's where we're at. And we're looking at the price and we're going, oh my God, this discount, right? And everybody else is like, nah, to go lower. Okay. Good luck with that.
All right.
I hope it does.
Keep going.
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind if it went lower.
I think we all don't.
Bullish, how are you?
I'm good. A little tired. You know, been putting in some hours, catching up with a couple projects that we're working on before I go on vacation next week. So just trying to, you know, clear off my plate before I leave so I can enjoy this vacation with my family.
Nice. Where are you going?
Colombia.
Oh, Philo was there a while back.
Yeah, just going to Colombia. I'll be out there for a week. My wife's best friend's brother is getting married. So yeah, we're gonna go out there. The second weekend that we're there is the wedding. So the first week, we're just gonna do the family thing, you know, sightseeing. I have like 2 photo shoots like scheduled, bunch of different activities. So looking forward to that.
What part are you going to, bro?
Cartagena.
Hey, that's my home. That's where I'm from, bro.
Nice.
That's what's up. I love
Yeah,
that.
doing that, doing
That's
good.
super cool, man.
Working on the show with CZ that's coming up. You know, we're rebranding Crypto in the Morning.
I hate that her name is CZ, Christina.
Yeah. I know.
That really
have to do a double check when I hear that.
It's almost like a trigger, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, just been busy with that stuff. So how's everyone else doing?
Good, bro.
We're good. We're just talking about stuff.
Hey, actually, Hexter, why don't you ask Bullish that question you asked us about your significant other?
Oh yeah, okay. So we were just saying, like, it's funny how, I don't know, everyone who has significant others, it'd be interesting to hear how everyone else's significant other is reacting to our engagement in the community and our energy spent towards the community to making memes and stuff, and what they think about it, and how you're able to defend yourself when he's like, what are you doing on your phone still, or what are you making, or who are you watching? Because I feel bad. Like, I get DMs and stuff all the time to jump into space or whatever. It's like, I can't keep up with the stuff, right? You got to have that family time. So we're just wondering what your loved ones think of your.
Yeah. So for me, I gave her a heads up, like, of what was going on. So like when I knew I was gonna start focusing on this, I pretty much gave her a heads up that that it was like, look, I'm gonna be spending some time like diving deep into this whole crypto thing and figuring it out because just to back up for a little bit, like my story was, I hear an echo. I don't know if that's me or someone else. All right, so yeah, my backstory was, it was when my son was born in 2017. I started just randomly buying a bunch of different cryptos, Cardano, Doge, the whole 9 yards, right? So I had put like a couple grand into Doge and then forgot about it because the shutdown came in. And then once the shutdown happened, I pretty much like ignored crypto and everything else that was going on. So then when Elon was on Saturday Night Live and he mentioned Dogecoin, I was like, oh, I remember buying that. When I checked the wallet, it was 6 figures. And I was like, oh, shit. I got to start paying attention to this. So
that was the top too.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And at that clue, I'm just like, okay, I have a bunch of money, but I still have no clue what the hell I'm doing or like fully understand it. So once I started diving deep into it, I pretty much gave her the heads up. She knows, I go deep into the rabbit hole once I decided to like, research a topic. And I would say like a month in, which is by the time I found Richard Hart and the Hexkin community, I was like, okay, no, I need to start focusing on this, like for real. There's like a lot of stuff going on, a lot of dope people out here. Like it's like a whole new world. So yeah, once I got into like helping Gym Rat, like I pretty much had to talk with her, and I was like, yeah, I'm thinking of quitting my job. Yeah, I'm gonna like focus on crypto full time and like learn as much as I can and figure out how to like gain this, the gap in skills that are missing for me to be pretty much like a Web3 developer. And yeah, pretty much just communication. Like that's, so at this point she's used to it already. So like, if I go on like a 24-hour, binge or 48-hour binge, she's just like, yup, it's going down a rabbit hole. So
he's going in.
And she sees the effects too. So, she sees that I'm learning, I'm more knowledgeable. She also sees like the gains because, aside from like hex stuff, I do some other stuff on some other chains I don't really talk about.
What? What? Dan, get him out of here.
So penalty box.
Yeah. So she sees the results. So she's like, okay, yeah, he's not like completely wasting his time. So yeah, she's happy about that.
See, I got the other problem because I actually am wasting a lot of my time doing crypto stuff because I've got orders that I still need to fill and things that I still need to build and unfortunately.
All right, I'm back. My bad, boys.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back.
Yeah. Sometimes she gets upset about it.
Leave you here with the crew, man, which should steer you straight. Like I've been at this for like 3 hours today of time that I burnt that I've like been totally non-productive when I should be like filling my orders that I'm not. So great hanging out with you guys. Good visiting. I'm sorry I'd stick around longer, but like I did do that 2-hour rant. So
yeah, man, thanks for coming on. It's good to see you again.
All right,
I'm glad I caught your thing there. He's bouncing. Did Dan's buddy go there too?
I think so.
My
buddy scared him off. He's like, I can't anymore.
He keeps on coming in and out.
What'd you do to him, Dan?
He said his internet connection's off. He's been drinking. He's over in Europe right now.
He's been drinking.
He's over in Europe. How can he afford that? He dumped all his hex at like 60% of his value.
He found a cheap ticket.
So let's go back. Let's go back to this talks maximalism shit that he was talking about earlier. I don't know if you guys saw it, but you should go check it out.
I didn't see it. What was he saying?
Well, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but like if you've seen what's been going on Twitter recently, like the term maximalists have been thrown around and
a lot,
yeah, and stuff, but I'm on the side of like I'm not down with the toxic maximalism, but I guess you could say I'm kind of a maximalist when it comes to the hex, because if I'm looking at, hey, I want to purchase a store of value, for me, the hex is just the best one. Right? So, but I have other stuff, like you guys said, like I'm not against people diversifying. I don't care if you diversify. It's your fucking money, man. Do whatever the hell you want.
Exactly.
The issue is that there's just a lot of new people, though. And then those new people get caught up in like a lot of stuff that isn't hex, and instead of buying hex. And so I think that's where the whole kind of like narrative is coming along where I feel like a lot of people who are, maxis just feel, like how JC feels strongly about it. I mean, like, he just doesn't like it when people try to like steer people into a different direction that isn't what can possibly benefit them with the highest potential. It's not to say that they won't buy an NFT or they won't buy a coin that won't go up, but ultimately it won't do what Hex does. And then you're just listening to things that aren't Richard Hart related, and by that I mostly mean the advice he gives, right? Like like the alpha he drops on his streams and stuff like that. Oftentimes those things aren't really kind of shared, like not giving up your keys, not being involved with like tax tokens and stuff like that, so
like and I think the other distinction is, especially with like content creators and like influencers or whatever you want to call them nowadays, when you come out the gate as a Hex streamer or Pulse streamer, that comes with a certain sense of responsibility. Versus saying you're just a crypto streamer who likes Hex. There's a big difference, because if like a random crypto streamer was to saying, oh, I like Hex too, we're not really getting at them for shilling other stuff. But if they come out the gate and it's like, I'm a Hex streamer, and then you start shilling other stuff, that's where the backlash comes in.
Yeah. But then again, Bush, right? Why does it matter if they're shilling something else, though? Like, I mean, I get it that if they're a streamer and they're sharing it, but ultimately people can do whatever they want with their money, right? Like,
it shouldn't matter, but
it's the sense of responsibility that you're referring to,
right? Because you're attaching yourself to like a specific brand and product, so that's gonna bring a certain amount of audience. So I'm just saying, for like, let's say, if I was to say I'm a Pepsi streamer, you know what I mean, and then all of a sudden I start talking about Coke, you know what I mean? It's like, what the hell you doing, dude? Like, like
yeah, like we don't do drugs.
Yeah.
No, okay.
Yeah, no, I just don't like the accusations that are coming out with it. That's all. I just don't appreciate that.
And I definitely don't like the behavior. I've been very vocal about, like, we got to cut this stuff out, and like, just because Richard gets to act like a dick doesn't mean we have to. Like, he has a different goal and a different vision, and he's literally like, he said it many times. He's up there, at the front lines, taking wounds on our behalf. So it's like, it's up to us to act like a community, and when, like, whether it's someone within the Hexing community, or someone that he just finished like demolishing on a debate, it's up to us to like pick him up and be like, it's all right, bro, we got you, like, everything's gonna be all right, like.
Yeah, no, that's facts.
What do you think, Tappy? What do you think, Tap?
Yeah, Tap. So how's the first week at Mickey D's? How's that going?
First week at Mickey D's was cool, man. Making sandwiches and shit, making Big Macs and double McBurgers for people, McDoubles for people.
When did you change your Twitter handle, by the way?
Wait, is that the hat that you're wearing?
Yeah, it was my McDonald's.
Oh, yeah, I just realized.
I'm staking it.
The Mickey D's visor.
He's like, I really earned mine. I ain't buying mine on Amazon.
But it's something cool, because I'm working with more of like young kids, high schoolers and shit. So it's just
dope.
And talking to the younger generation, and I guess being a one-on-one with them. I want to start breaking down crypto to them, but I'm going to wait until another weekend, get my bearings in. And so far it really hasn't been no real issue. You talking to me? You can't hear me?
I can hear you.
No, we can hear you. I was talking to Manja.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's been cool. The location ain't really that busy, so it doesn't really get too crazy. And yeah, it's just no complaints so far.
Dope.
He's chilling so far.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch that stream today, Richard's stream?
Yeah.
I did.
No. You had a stream today? Oh, I missed it. Wow.
How was it?
That was pretty good.
Another day at the office.
Another day at the office.
How was it though? Like, he was doing an interview, right, with one of the guys from the Spaces the other day.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he did. Another day at the office.
He got another body, but he did it in a nicer way. Like, he wasn't, like his old Richard at your face. It was more educational. It was more like, hey, we have the same idea. And he was kind of somewhat agreeing with what Richard was saying. He was trying to say he wasn't. He was trying to say that, all right, he put up a scenario like, all right, let's say money is not the equation. I hate when people freaking say that. Money is always a part of the equation.
Yep.
He was trying to come up with some scenario and say, all right, let's say money is not the equation. Bitcoin's still great for this. No, technology still sucks, yada, yada. But either way, I think it was a pretty nice stream.
Yeah, at the end, he focused a lot on the point that it's all about the software, and that Bitcoin is just old software. And he compared it to like Windows, and what was it? He was talking about like Windows XP and Windows 7, and
Matrix,
how people still use that shit, but that doesn't
Materials,
mean
yeah.
it's good. Yeah. I
No,
think
well,
that
like
was a
with
good analogy.
there's so much stuff with Richard that preaches like you really you can't really defend against what he's saying sometimes. You know, when
Yeah,
he's
Bro,
just
it's
telling
that the
like how
guy
are
has
you?
so much years in the game, like
But
you
not even
can't
that,
even
right?
compare.
If I say to you, like self custody or nothing.
right.
Yeah, I mean, as someone who wouldn't understand, that's one thing. But if you know where Richard comes from, that's the thing. Like most people, the thing about nowadays that I see is that a lot of it just, and you see this in every generation, old, young, people don't respect where people come from. Like they
No.
don't
They don't.
understand their past. They don't understand that they've been in this for a minute, and they don't take that at face value. You feel me? Like you need to understand that, bro. These people have been in the game for a minute. Like they're telling you this is for a reason. You feel me? And it's hard. And also and it's kind of like what Manjo was saying. You feel me? Like he sees people on Instagram talking and saying one thing. He sees people over here saying another. Everybody's an expert, right? Everybody's an expert nowadays. And so if
Yeah.
everybody's an expert, who are you really going to focus on? Who are you going to listen to? And that's why I was telling him, I was like, bro, who do you listen to? Because if you're listening to everybody, bro, you're going to end up in the grave. Like you're done. You feel me? But if you have a mentor, you pick a champion. And, for a lot of people, that's Richard. You're gonna follow what he says, and if you look at everything he says, and as you see it play out, and it holds to be true, it's crazy, bro. Because I remember when he mentioned the whole Celsius thing, and that was dude, I was in Colombia
2
at the
years
time.
ago.
A year
Not
and a
even
half,
about a year and a half
not
ago.
even, bro. It was like a year and a half ago, and I remember, bro, like I was like, damn, Celsius. I took my money out of Celsius, and I was promoting Celsius because I thought it was pretty cool. You feel me? I thought it was dope, and I was not promoting it, but I was telling my boys about it. And so I was like, oh, like it's interesting, it looks cool, but I didn't understand what I was doing. And so until he broke it down, and because Richard was that champion for me, I said, all right, if he's saying it's for a reason. And then, lo and behold, a year and a half later, look at where we are today. This is all unfolding, and it's just like it's true.
Yeah, I'm
It's
glad
funny-
I missed all that.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned Celsius because before I found Hex and Richard and all that, I signed up at Celsius. I never put any money in. I was just like, oh, I'll put my email, and I got an email from a few weeks ago. I didn't want to post it though, just to be like, oh, you assholes or whatever. But maybe I'll share.
Dude,
it
every
one
week I
day.
still get email.
Okay, you
saying,
get it too
every
then.
Monday. Every
Yeah.
Monday I get emails
Same.
saying
From our
my
team.
Same.
You're in
my
huddle mode.
bonus or my.
You got one too,
Huh?
Tat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back then I had a little Celsius account. I had a little something into it. Same
Did
thing.
you?
No, yeah, a little bit. I saw the Richard Hart's YouTube year and a half ago. He broke it down. Same thing. Took my money out, put it back into Hex. Didn't even think twice.
I missed all that stuff. That's why it's hard for me to relate.
Yeah,
Like
you
all these
missed it,
people who
yeah.
are just like, yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. I missed it. Not
That's
wrecked by
crazy,
it.
but
You know, like
sometimes I feel like you've been in this for years.
remember, like it's not like I don't understand what like crypto is. I just don't understand like the dynamics and like the differences between like the legacy market, which I'm better at it now.
Mhm.
But it's also like like my business and experience and all the other stuff that just I'm
Right.
able to connect the dots, and I understand tech, so it's just like at the end of the day, it's all code. It's like the market cycles and all that stuff, and
That's like, yeah.
that was all
Sorry,
foreign
cut
to
you
me.
off there.
No, that's fine. That was all foreign to me. Like with the stuff I know now, if I knew that when I was invested in Doge, I would have been DCAing every week, and I would have been a billionaire today. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
Right.
I didn't know those
Bullish.
things back then.
You know what's funny, Bullish? When you got that top on the SNL Doge, when you sold that was the top that I bought in. That got me wrecked.
Yeah, man, you owe him some money.
Oh no, but I'm still wrecked
He
because
bought his
like,
bags.
I didn't even sell the whole thing. I didn't even sell the whole thing. I took like a majority of it and I swapped it and for the PLSX sacrifice.
We should
Nice,
call
that's
that
good, though.
teabagging.
So I'm
What
still
should we
holding
call
a majority of my Doge. So I'm equally
What?
as wrecked.
It should be called a teabag though. When someone buys your bags at the top, you should just be like, yeah, man, I fucking teabagged you.
But I'm still up compared to
Tap
like
got
what I
teabagged.
originally invested. I'm still up compared to what I originally invested.
Yeah,
So.
as long as you're still up,
Yeah.
bro.
Playo, though, what you said there a few minutes ago, you're absolutely right. Like when it comes to listening to people who've had the experience before, because it's the same with everything, right? It doesn't just apply to crypto, just life lessons in general. Like learn from
course.
people's experience, take them at their word. Like Johnny's one of the nicest guys out here. He's not going to lie to you.
Right.
You know,
No,
and
but
then-
here's the
and
thing.
then-
But here's the thing, real quick. Johnny's a nice dude and everything, but people only will listen to people who make them feel comfortable, like
Yeah.
who make them feel like
Opium.
They're not an idiot. That they're not dumb.
Right.
Johnny, Richard, Hexagons will tell you to your face, no, you are wrong. Here is why you're wrong. Here is how we know you're wrong. Here's the math to back up why you're wrong. The average person can't take that, especially an average bloke going on social media and the internet for the first time, looking up research, Google people for crypto. That's the reality that I've seen people. Sorry if it's not you, but that's what
you're right. That's why I focus on like onboarding common people, like people who have no idea about crypto or probably never have an idea. Yeah, like I focus on them, the people who are like trying to invest, $200, $500 a month. Like those are the people I'm focusing on.
I think it's important to talk about your past too, because also, oftentimes too, you can't. Sometimes people struggle to listen to someone who haven't experienced what they've experienced, right? So like, I think it's for me when I was looking for a mentor, I always said, or I got this advice when I was told, when looking for a mentor, you want to find someone that has experienced what you experienced and has what you want. Right.
Yeah,
but oftentimes
absolutely.
a lot of people haven't experienced what Richard experienced. But for example, I related with Richard because Richard's from Florida. I'm from Florida. Richard, when he was young, he struggled. I struggled when I was young. So when I saw that in him and he was talking about his past, I connected with him from that place. And not to see where he's at, I was like, okay, this is someone I could follow, right? Because of what he's now saying. Oftentimes people can't relate with him because maybe they didn't come from a poor background, right? They didn't come from, for example, Florida or for somewhere near. Maybe they came from another country. And so, there's a lot of factors that play to it. There's definitely a lot of factors that play into it. But yeah, man, you got to find a mentor. If you don't have a mentor in this game, you're gonna struggle. You're definitely gonna struggle, and ultimately you're gonna learn from your own mistakes, and that's gonna cost you some money, right? And they call that market tuition, right? The money you lose on the road to learning. It's like college tuition, right? It's market tuition. But you ultimately don't have to pay it if you just listen to the right people.
Yeah, it's funny you say that with the whole market tuition stuff, because even though I'm listening to people, I'm still paying for that market tuition because I'm purposely spending money to like learn on these other like chains and like all these different products just so I can get like hands-on experience because I miss so much. And I'm not talking about like a lot of money either.
I recommend bullish. Like, don't even bother, bro. You know why? Because ultimately, like, you can learn from afar. And what you would want to do, and what I recommend you do, bro, is you go on YouTube and go to old videos from like 2014, 2017. Look at people talking about the industry back then, and then just kind of like create like a roadmap. I have a course, and in the course, I talk about from 2000 and I started the course like talking about the history from 2015 all the way to 2022. And so I break down the history of cryptocurrency, like where you start, like where it was, like when Ethereum launched, all the way into like when NFTs came out, Aave came out, all that stuff, and I progressively move into now where we're at, and that context really does help you a lot now where we are, because ultimately we can't take the clock back, right? We can't go back to $1 Bitcoin, we can't go back to 80 dollar Ethereum, right? And so yeah, I mean, I honestly recommend, like, personally, me, bro, I don't think you even have to do that. I think if you just focus on what you're doing right now, you're doing everything right. And this is coming from someone who, mind you, has been in it since 2017 and has paid for those mistakes just because I knowingly put my money into those things. But if you know better, you may not even have to expose yourself, bro, to be honest.
Yeah, the only reason I'm doing it too is because remember I'm not coming in just from like an investor standpoint. I'm planning on developing stuff. So I'm trying to, so like, I'm just trying to learn how these products works, how these protocols work, how they're building their front ends, and, so I'll throw in, $50, $100 into something just so I can be able to poke around in the back end, see how it functions, so, that's pretty much like what I'm focusing on. But on the flip side, and then again, it's not financial advice. I've been learning a lot of stuff in the process and been able to turn some of that stuff into profits. So it's just like, oh, I remember this stuff, and okay, this is new that's coming out. I remember how this works. Okay, let me get a little bit more aggressive now because I understand it now. And then it's like, oh, okay, I'm up 5x. Let me take those profits and buy more hex. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like if I lost it, it's fine because I'm just chasing the learning experience, not necessarily the profits. If the profits come with it, then it's like, okay, great.
That's what's exciting about PulseChain is how many of these Mexicans are going to go out and learn how to build shit and start building stuff on PulseChain because they already know the expectations. They already know what it can't have, right? They already know the questions that are going to be asked when you bring a project to the table and say, hey, Hexicans, like, might have a sacrifice for this, or this is what I'm trying to do. They're going to know when they're developing, okay, no admin keys, got to be trustless, got to be audited.
You can build with Solidity on Pulse Chain, right? If I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Yep.
Yeah. So you just
Please,
gotta mention
everybody, go on the testnet and play with your free coins right now. Go to your MetaMask, click on the settings, and just switch over to Pulse Chain. Ask any hexagons, where's the link to it? Ask any hexagons, where's the testnet pulse, the faucet, freepulse.io. Get some free test pulse, play around with that. Please get your experience in before main launch because I don't want to hear y'all mouths.
Yeah, and also like if you're like if you're like an
You
aspiring
know we gonna
developer,
be out there.
if you're an aspiring
I
developer,
don't want to hear y'all mouths.
if you're an aspiring developer and you're looking to like learn Solidity and stuff like that, and like literally use testnet to like deploy, projects and contracts, and like because it's there, you know what I mean? You might as well, like, if you're learning right now, just start deploying stuff. It's all gonna get erased anyway when mainnet comes. So
Yeah.
When it comes.
yeah.
I love that. I love there's still naysayers out there being like, it's never gonna fucking launch. Y'all got rugged. So it's coming. It's like, bro.
Yeah, I just started changing my language and like, not FUD or anything, but I just been telling people like, yeah, it's a promise coin right now, but it's coming. Don't worry about it. It's coming.
Oh, sorry. No, it's coming.
Just
It's
like
coming.
I told people on my live stream, if you want Pulse Chain to drop, this is what you do. Go to Telegram. Go to Richard Hart's Telegram. Send him a resume of your developing skills. Have him hire you. Take whatever goddamn developing skills you must know, you may have known since you're asking for it, and speed up the process since y'all know so much. If y'all want Pulse Chain to drop so soon.
Just fork Ethereum yourself. It's just a copy, right? It can't be that hard.
Do it. Yeah.
Control C that shit.
Pretty much.
Let's go.
If y'all want Pulse Chain to drop soon, go ahead and tell Richard Hart your developing skills and go ahead and help out the team drop tomorrow.
Just drop him an email, be like, Richard, I'm the guy who's gonna launch Pulse Chain. Here's my resume. Here's my hourly rate.
There we go.
Look at that.
Because y'all know so damn much.
I gotta make a meme out of that one for sure. I haven't
That
made
guy's
a meme
fresh,
in a
bro.
while.
I haven't seen no good Richard Hart memes in a little bit with all his outfits. I haven't seen some in a little bit, or have I just been off the man? I kind of been off. I've been off Twitter the past weekend.
I'm surprised he's wearing a Gantt shirt.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. I was waiting for that one.
It's like, where you wearing a Gantt shirt? It's like,
When did Marco get those rings?
He made the rings. I think he said he got them. Where did he say he get it from? He got
What the fuck?
Probably a hot topic.
Who is that?
Yeah, who is that?
Crypto Kool-Aid.
I'm hollering.
Yo, wait, like you heard when Crypto Kool-Aid in Spaces said the game that he worked on? I don't know if like most Hexicans knew.
Prey or something? I never heard of the game.
You never heard of Prey?
I heard of that, Joe.
Dude, Prey is big, bro.
I think I heard of Prey.
And even the studio that they're from, like Arkman, they're huge, bro. Like
Prey. Is he developing shit?
he's from, I think, what he's one of the co-creators of Prey.
Prey game. Oh, on PS4 and yeah, okay. That's good
lead
reviews.
Architect, I think it was.
Arcane Studios.
Arcane, yeah. Sorry, I said Arkham. Yeah, Arcane Studios.
Yeah. Wow.
You say you got Batman for the CEO?
It's Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne, actually. You're not supposed to know he's Batman.
Whatever.
Shut your mouth. I don't want to hear any of your mouths.
When does this bull market start?
I hope not for a while.
Yo, let me say this. Hold on.
I'm a technical analysis guru, my boy.
Dan, let me say this. So Dan, I have a steak coming out like next week. That was a steak I made last year when I first got to Hex. We was at 7 cents. I swore for everything goodness we was gonna be at least $1 at this point. The past 4, 5, 6 months has been very eye-opening to say the least.
Dude, yeah, no one should do like those price calls we were getting into during those sacrifices last year were crazy.
Yeah. We was going kind of berserk on that one.
Yeah, I've pretty much been telling people like don't expect to cash out for like at least another 2 or 3 years. Like period. It's like
I do know Bullish saying that. Bullish was saying that shit. I ain't want like, man, he don't know what he's talking about.
If you just follow the Bitcoin market cycle, you'll be fine.
Yeah, dude.
Yes, we want to say that Hex is decorrelated, and in a way, it did perform in that way during our bull cycle, but ultimately, it doesn't mean that it's going to go up everything still technically follows Bitcoin. So to what we see, so there's no reason to think it won't. You know, I mean, right now it's the best time to buy, but if we keep following what it's been doing, that's my honest opinion.
$30.
I was
Wow,
hoping for
$30
$30.
bucks.
Oh my
$5.
god! What the fuck?
$30.
Why?
Sheesh.
Listen,
That's back when we were doubling every 60 days.
Guys, if it hit $30 there, I'd take
Oh
some
yeah,
profits.
I remember that tech. I remember that technical analysis. Someone was like, "Oh yeah, we're
I think he meant to
doubling
put a
every X
period
month."
and a zero in front of the 30.
no.
And I get it. Like, yeah, people are excited. Like, cause people have asked me before. I'm like, I don't do price predictions. I don't do that chart shit. I don't know. No one knows.
No,
Because I don't know. You don't know either.
Nope.
Yeah. All the people with experience and knowledge and who already like made bags already, they're all like, yeah, dude, 2 to 3 years. That's the earliest. And it's like, all right, no problem. Let me get ready.
That's fine. Yeah, get ready.
Dude, that's nothing. Like that's pretty much what I waited for that Doge bag to like turn into 6 figures. And
That's
I did
it.
it without even like trying because I just forgot about it. So it was just like, so by the time I met Richard Hart and Richard Hart's talking about delayed gratification, I was like, oh yeah, I just did that. Yeah, it does work.
So
Yeah.
Bullish, are you a maximalist?
Hell no.
What's your definition of it?
No, Maxi is like someone who's just into like one thing or like, you know. So like I get the people who are like RH Maxis, but like given the fact that like we're launching a layer 1, it's like, no, you don't want to be an RH Maxi. You know what I mean? Like
No.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this for me myself, for a young pleb who's still learning, who's kind of still wrecked. I tell people I'm an RH Maxi, but I'm like a Maxi when it comes to his knowledge, his advice. Now, I'll take that from it, but like my core foundation, I always go back to Richard Hart.
yeah, there's clearly a distinction with that. Yeah, like when you make that distinction, yeah, like totally makes sense. You know what I mean? But like most people are not making that distinction that you're making. You know what I mean? Like
right,
it's like RH hex only, you know, PulseX, nothing else, and it's like, dude, we're launching a layer 1. Like, what are you talking about? Like
the other stuff. If there's other stuff out there, like if you explore, there's games to be made out there.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to play those games, if you want to play those games for those games, that's up on you, and that's up to your financial responsibility as a person.
Right.
Now, for me, what I'm comfortable with, what has worked for me so far, what makes sense for me so far, is what makes sense for me.
And then also we have like Hexicans building dope stuff. Like that's the other thing. That's why I've been running with this whole Hearts Mafia stuff. Once I started recognizing the talent and the morals that they're like building products around and building on top of Hex and all this other stuff, I'm like, oh, okay, I see what's happening here. The same thing happened with PayPal. You know what I mean? It was like, all right, this is gonna happen all over again. Like,
what do you mean the same thing out with PayPal?
So PayPal Mafia is like like most of the companies that are running Web 2 right now or the internet, like from your Ubers to your Pinterest to like
they're all from like PayPal.
It's all they all originated from PayPal.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
So like 85% of them, some crazy.
Right. So right, exactly. And like so, most of the companies that are operating right now, they all like stem from PayPal. So I see, you know, now that I understand market cycles, you know, like 10 years from now, 10 to 15 years from now, you'll see that most of the people running crypto are like is coming from a branch of like Richard Hart.
You think so?
Yeah.
That'd be crazy, yeah.
And I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I pretty much sacrificed for like 80% of the shit that Hexicans built. So we'll see how that plays out. You know, we'll see how that plays out in a decade. But like I'm literally putting my money where my mouth is.
Yeah.
Because I saw it happen, you know, because I've been around since Web 1. So like I saw it happen, but never had the insight to like actually invest in it. Even if I was to put $1,000 in each of those companies that came out of PayPal, you know, I would have been, you know, super wealthy right now.
I'm about to retweet a certain video I retweeted a while ago. It's a video that shows all the famous websites from like 1985 and how popular it was always up to 2022. You see a lot of the websites that used to be popular back in the day who everyone thought was going to be the big thing. But, you know, you see them die away. Then you see the new guys come in, and you see the branches, other new guys also take over. I'm going to pop it up in a moment.
Yeah, show it. Back to what Bullish was saying. Oh, yeah, I think there was one sack that I didn't do because I was gone or something. But, like, obviously my biggest ones were PulseChain and PulseX because I was in Hex day one. And then I sacked for loans. I sacked for Mintra. I sacked for internet money. Or I didn't sack for
not sacking for Mintra, to be honest.
Do
Yeah, I
you?
sacked
Yeah.
for Mintra. I sacked
Yeah,
for
a buddy of
Mintra.
mine was
Yeah,
fucking
I
telling
sacked
me, he was like, bro, sack for Mintra. I was like, nah. And that was me on the whole Richard NFT shit. I was just, and he was saying, oh, NFT this and NFT about. Then like I should have just like looked. I should have. Well, I don't even like to say should have. I'm gonna should have all over myself.
Really
The
should've.
idea is like, I mean, the idea is just great, and also it's because my whole thing is like passive income opportunities in crypto, and like that's
Right.
something
Yeah,
that generates
those
some
fees
yield.
are nice. Yeah,
So
for
yeah,
sure.
I think it.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
think
and
me,
it's
it's like pure
support.
speculation. For me, it's
And
like
it's
literally don't do what I'm doing. I'm doing
Right.
like pure speculation based on perspective that I've had and like on the web. So that's what I'm leaning on. You know what I mean? I'm not
Yeah, if
going.
you for me when I sacked, if you look at like say I had whatever cash around 100%, like 80% was to PulseChain and PulseX, and then an additional 5% each of those other
Right.
allocated
So
to
for
those
me,
other
it's like,
projects.
for me, it's like a 70-30. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like
70,
30% of it is like going to like sacrifices. And like the rest, I'm like, DCing into like Hex, Hedron, and other stuff.
Oh, and HEDRON. Yeah, I forgot what HEDRON, but that wasn't a sack.
Oh, yeah. I love my Hedron
Right.
bag. Oh, I
Yeah.
love. Can't wait for I close the
I
lot.
forgot. I ended a stake a couple days ago, and I forgot.
To claim.
And I said to myself, I was like, we have to.
Bro,
keep
I did the
committing
same
to telling
shit. I'm
people.
still pissed about
what
it.
was it? You forgot to
Okay, we need like a fucking PSA announcement or something to tell these motherfuckers, mint your. Well, actually, maybe not, because maybe we don't want people minting their Hedron. Do we want to be
In a
nice?
way, that's good for us. Yeah.
Bro, I remember like a week after, I was like,
yeah, literally like a day later, I was like, I didn't mint my fucking
Don't tell
Hedron.
people.
I didn't
Oh
mint
my god, you didn't
Hedron.
mint
I
your
don't know how
Hedron?
much it was.
So you didn't take
It
advantage of
wasn't
the
a lot
bonuses?
though.
Oh, I know.
I
I have plenty more stakes with that 10x.
All right, yeah. So let's break it down for anyone who doesn't understand. So if you have a stake
Every
that's
day.
ending, right,
Yeah.
you need to claim your Hedron before you end your stake. If not, you won't be able to claim it.
And the reason why is because that contract that you ran
To
in
mint your
Hedron,
Hedron.
all it's
Right,
doing
mint your
is
Hedron.
looking
Right,
at
sorry,
your stake.
mint your Hedron.
When you run that contract, all it's doing is looking at that stake. So if you end that stake before minting that Hedron, it has no stake to look at, and then you're shit out of luck. So you gotta
Honestly,
make sure.
thank y'all for this reminder because I low key almost.
Yes.
Yeah. You told me something nice here.
God, I can't believe
Actually,
it. It was a day later.
let me ask you guys these questions because you guys have been staking and like clearly have ended stakes. I don't have my first stake doesn't end until the beginning of next year or something like that. So how are you guys reminding yourselves of like, aside from like going to like, go to hex.com, you guys are setting up like calendar reminders or something like that?
Bro, look at
I
this.
just look in
I'm happy
Staker
you
app.
asked. Check this out. Like I have a little thing on my phone. Like, oh wait, let me focus right quick. So it tells me hex.
Get his wallet address. Get his
125
address.
days. Right,
Gotcha.
Oh, nice.
Dope.
like that.
That's
yeah.
cool.
So I just remind myself with that little. So every day I look at it, I'm like, all right, 125 days left. All right, for sure.
What do you do, Tap?
Damn, I'm trying to remember. Fucking.
You had your hand up.
No,
30
freaking-
seconds ago.
I literally just felt the weed rush through my head. Now, God, it was some website where you connect your wallet to. It pulls up all your stake. And there's a button you can click. That will.
Oh, I do. I think I remember you talking about like Hex Calendar or something like that.
Yes.
You're right about. I forgot about that. Someone
And
did
it
mention that.
connects to the calendar that's connected to whatever device you're working on. And from off of that, you can set up for your email. And if you have your email attached to your phone, you check the calendar on your phone. You can see when your hex stakes are coming out, and of course, you can make your alerts and stuff from that.
There we go. It's called End Stake Reminder. I'm gonna drop it in the chat.
Please do.
Yeah, do that.
Give that to Dave.
That was
I got
early.
the Staker
That was
app on
early.
my phone. You guys don't use the Staker app? You could just put your public address.
I don't use Staker app during the correction. I don't use it. I
Nah,
deleted it. I'm like,
Yeah,
I
like
don't-
the
I don't
stake
wanna
wrap
get-
is cool, but then you're still relying on that. I kind of like the whole thing with the calendar stuff.
Yeah,
You can like sync it and then just get reminders in the calendar.
Hex cap.
and there's
Like,
no
let's-
crypto on
right.
your
'Cause
phone.
let's say like you get a new phone and you forget to reinstall
Mhm.
Staker app or something like that. Like
Is that link good?
yeah, it's on the hex.com website.
You put the malware on there?
No, it's on the hex.com website. That's where I pulled it from. It's literally on the hex.com website under.
Pull it up there,
the-
Dan. We'll load your address in and see. What
It's
you got
under
going on
the
there.
other stuff, all the way at the bottom on the other stuff section. That's where it's at.
And I'm pretty sure if you connect your Staker app wallet address to the site, it will still pull up your hex stakes as well, and you can upload it to the whatever calendar the device is on.
Yeah, back to that Mintra for a second there, Poil, that
Yeah.
you didn't sack for. Like, Yeah, the cool thing with the passive income, I think, wasn't it with the fees, with the trading fees, right? The 2.5%, and then 1% goes to an address with no expectations. 1% goes to the stakers, and then 0.5% gets burned. I think, doesn't it?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Pulse. The Mintra thing,
Oh.
like the layout for the for staking it. Is that what it is, Bullish? Do you remember?
Oh, yeah, he created a different front end. Yeah.
Yeah, I know,
I haven't
but for
checked it.
Mintra, like with the function of the coin there, where when you hold it, you stake it. Every time there's a
I'm
fee,
gonna
it
be
goes
honest
through
with you guys. A lot of the stuff I staked for, I sacked for, I have no idea how it functions.
Oh, okay.
At least you're being honest.
He's a degen.
No, literally, I just because most of the sacrifices were going on at the same time.
I know.
And then I was just like busy between still like working my day job and the kids. So I was just like sacking for stuff, and it's like on my list to like dive into it later. Yeah, so it's like
all up at everybody's face for weeks. It felt like.
Yeah. So good thing that PULSECHAIN got delayed because I've been able to catch up like and learn like all the different stuff I sacrificed for. Mintra, I'm not there yet.
Yeah, I think
I've been learning like Power City. I've been learning that. I've been learning liquid loans. I've been learning fiat. So there's like a bunch of stuff that I sack for that I've like over the past couple of weeks. I've been like diving back into it and like figuring out, all right, what the hell I sacrifice for.
Yeah, I missed fiat.io and I missed that one in the Thunder Cash, whatever that's called. What was the one with it was the
Did you guys get into Texan yet? I'm not sure if you guys talked about that while I was gone, but
yeah,
I have no idea.
Yeah, that's not my cup of tea, but I like some of the stuff that they coded into the smart contract. So that stuff I'm like geeked out about. So like, yeah, I'm not gonna like because like,
yeah, you could do a 22-year stake, which is pretty interesting, and then you can take it out as you go.
Yeah, so like I personally don't care about anything Texas. No hate to them, is because like I don't live there. I have no intentions of living there or anything like that. That's more like they have like a specific agenda, which I'm not against, but I like some of the stuff that they built into the smart contract.
What is it? Is it a PRC 20 or is it ERC right now?
PRC.
I have no idea. It is
PRC only.
So it's just for Paul. Okay. So what are they doing? A sack phase right now, or is it already out? It can't be out, obviously. But.
No, I think there's no sack phase. I think they're just doing an airdrop, I believe.
No, if you go to their site, right now. There is something. If you donate to a cause that they have on their site, it's something from Texas, like a cause from Texas about Texas breaking from the union or something.
You can add my screen.
Secession.
Anyways, you'll get 10,000 Texas tokens, I guess, for every $1 you donate.
Endowment. There we go. Endowment token. So yeah, I like the endowment stuff that they coded into it. It's pretty cool. So
what does that mean? It's an endowment token. What does it mean?
So they figured out how to do an endowment for like fundraising and all kinds of stuff on the blockchain.
Oh, okay. Endowments and structures movement.
Yo, thanks for that hex cow. That was clutch, to be honest.
So yeah, when you stake your Texan tokens by locking them in the endowment contract, the contract rewards you with interest yield, which the smart contract is programmed to execute. The base rate is 5% annually, but can reach a maximum annual average of 87%. If staked for a maximum of 22 years. Interest yield is paid in Texan tokens through the sole interaction with the Texan smart contract.
So they're doing
Texan yeah, pretty much, yeah. So it's like Hex. So Texan is a true DeFi. The Texan contract is immutable. There are no admin keys. It's just you and the contract. So
you should read it with an accent.
No, I'm definitely not doing
that. Let me tell you, your partners, how it works.
Howdy.
Please not. Please don't.
Yep.
So this is Rags and Heartbeats, right?
Yeah, and like two other hexagons.
Oh, here we go.
There we go.
Okay. Fucking Brandon, he's got his glasses on in the picture too, eh? Of course.
Oh, you don't want to show them pearly white.
You should have put the Viper.
Yeah, those are nice.
They biting.
So these Ray Rastelli, these guys are also hexagons?
Yeah.
Right.
So they're the ones I believe are the developers behind it.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah, no offense, but Ryan looks like a nerd.
And then Heartbeat is from Texas.
Yeah.
And Rags is not, but he's down with all this stuff, and
oh yeah,
you can consider him, I guess, aside from like being part of the team, like the brand ambassador with like Crypto Heartbeat, I guess.
Fuck, how many projects are gonna be 2 years from now?
Oh, dude, it's gonna be insane. That's why I've like been like diving into like some of these other chains and some of these other projects, because like a lot of the stuff that's gonna come out in the beginning are just gonna be pure forks. Yeah. I would say like the first 12 months, you're just gonna see fork after fork after fork after fork after fork. So I just want to get familiar with it. So when it comes over, I'm like, okay, I know what this is.
Look how many forks of that friggin' drip Seifu bullshit things there are now.
Oh, dude, I already know like 5 people who are doing like, you know, drip forks and like all kinds of stuff, and they already like showed me their artwork and everything. I'm like, oh yeah.
Have you seen the chart for that thing?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Dude, what the fuck?
I put money into it just to like, again, to like learn it and figure out how it works.
Yeah, like you could put money. What's drip?
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
basically
I'm not really gonna get into it. But you can explain it.
Oh my! How would you even explain it? It's basically an ROI platform where you'd buy the drip token and you would lock it away like a bond almost, and you can get 1% ROI a day.
Yeah.
In that drip token, but the problem is like people who it's whoever got in the earliest is just leeching off the contract.
Yeah, pretty much. Forever. That's how it works.
Yeah. So if somebody got in day one and got it, like I think there's a max on the wallet that you can get up to in drip.
Yeah,
like 100,000. Yeah.
Yeah, I've put money into like these like drip copycats that like are launching like left and right on like Binance. But to your point, I'm getting in like, you know, like pre-launch, and then I'm exiting like within a week. You know what I mean? And it's just like I've just been following that strategy because I already know how it works. The first time I did it is like, of course, like I didn't understand what I was doing, the whole bond mechanism, you know, and like how, you know, price determines everything. And, you know, the little bit of money I put into it, I lost, but I learned from that experience. And I was like, okay, let me try it again with this new project, you know, take my learnings, you know, and then I just.
And it's literal consistent sell pressure every single day now.
Yep.
Because you can go in and like you can compound, right? So the way it works is the max payout is 365% of your whatever, right? So if you put $100 in and didn't do anything, you could claim up to $365. Let's just say
exactly.
It was at 1-to-1.
Right.
So the game theory is, hey, if you're compounding every day, eventually you're going to have a shit ton more, and your 1% is going to be a lot more than when you originally put in.
Yeah.
But you go look at this thing, and there's people that have maxed out their wallets for however long ago, and they're just claiming every day. The thing's been bleeding for forever. It feels like
forever. Like you guys know who like DeFi Proof is, right? Like DeFi Proof, he does a lot of stuff like on Binance and all kinds of stuff. So he was telling me his drip story because he got into drip early, and at one point at the all-time high, he was cashing out $5,000 to $6,000 a day.
Yeah.
And just giving it out to people in like his Telegram group, just giving people free money because it was just like basically printing like thousands of dollars every day.
And we should mention too, like this is when Johnny was on, we talked about taxes, right? A lot of these built-in taxes with coins. This one has 10% buy, 10% sell to prevent trading against it, but literally all that percentage is going to pay out the daily payouts.
Yeah, and a lot of that stuff is being copied and forked over to PULSECHAIN, and a lot of people are gonna get wrecked.
Yeah. Who can answer this question? Because I haven't done any.
I can answer it. They're two completely different products. Fiat is more of like a lending protocol, and Fiat is and Power City is more like an ecosystem where they're gonna have multiple things. So like Core is like the base product for like Power City, and then from there they're gonna have, you know, like the NFT marketplace and, you know, all the different stuff that branches out, and then, you know, goes back into the core. Where Fiat is just like a pure fork of I believe it's Aave, that's gonna be launched on PULSECHAIN. So two completely different products. So it's not necessarily a preference; it's just more intention.
Yeah.
You sack for both?
Yep.
I got into Fiat a little bit.
I just recently I just finished doing like a big deep dive into like Power City. So like that's like fresh top of mind. I did Fiat before that because my exit strategy is to use loans versus just like selling. So even like whenever I'm ready to cash out, instead of cashing out, I'm just gonna like take a loan and like still give myself an opportunity to like, you know, at least, you know, pay the loan back and still keep my crypto instead of just like dumping it on everyone's head. I'll just take a loan. You know what I mean?
Are you talking about using Power City for loans or liquid loans?
Fiat, whether it's Fiat or liquid loans or whoever it is. But, you know, I've been learning, you know, because that's going to be my exit strategy. Like when I'm ready to cash out, I'm going to do it as a loan.
Oh, interesting. Well, I guess if you could do it as a loan, can't you not pay tax on that?
That's one of the advantages too.
Right. That's what I'm gonna be doing.
And then I want to take those earnings and then invest some of that in the real world in some like cash producing assets, like essentially like a A1 building. Yeah, A1 building or something like that. They can
buy
pay
garage, buy parking lots.
Yeah, like they can pay, like 6 figures a month, and you can just live off that. Like if someone can't live off of 6 figures a month, it's like I don't know what the hell you're doing. Like,
6 figures a month, yeah. I didn't catch you there when you said a month. Like you better,
no,
because
you can you can buy certain real estate that actually pays that out every month. So,
Luckily, is Fiat out now? No, is it
on testnet?
Yeah, on testnet. Yeah.
Okay. I've been earning a basket of RH. Why do you just say it like that, Marley? It just sounds so weird.
I'm going to play around with that on testnet. I haven't looked into that one too much.
What Molly's saying is interesting. He just bought a guy out of his fiat allocation because he wanted people are selling their. Yo, dude, how they do this? Like, I want to buy some people's
Molly, do you want to come on quickly and explain this bullshit? What are you talking about here?
I feel like Motley and attendees always have the Dev Alpha for some reason.
They do, man. Those two do. They really do. Especially Tendies. He's so intimidating.
Really having it.
Yeah, that's some sacrifices I miss for like shit. Like if someone wants to get rid of their like PULSECHAIN or their IMD, like I'll buy it.
That's crazy. Dan, people are selling their sacrifice bags, and these coins haven't even released yet. Like it really blows my mind. Like you put money aside for this coin, this project to do something in the future, knowing there's a future you have to wait for. Now, we're at some point in said future, it's not even that far into it, but now you're so impatient, you're going to sell it, and obviously this person is going to make now X's more because now they got someone else's bag.
Dan, send Motley a link so you can hop on.
I just sent him one.
All right.
If he comes, he might be busy doing things with Wendy's.
We're brothers.
What time is it in Puerto Rico right now?
Same time as
Who cares?
Okay.
Who cares?
They might be doing a late night walk on the
it's
beach.
Eastern.
They're looking at the moon.
Late night walk on the beach.
Feed each other grapes, looking at the moon. So beautiful at this too.
I didn't keep that meme up, man.
Oh, this is the one that I did a couple of ways back.
Yeah, I just have it as a background, but
once summer leaves, I'll be doing memeing, and there it is. Once summer ends, I'll be doing.
Yeah, did you guys mint your weight?
What happened?
What?
Mint your weight token?
No.
Oh, no. Well, I
thought
did.
You were supposed to wait. I thought the whole point was to wait.
I haven't looked into that one much.
Yeah, I did mine already.
Didn't it dump? Did it dump?
Yeah, that's just like down.
Is it?
Yeah, there's only like 18K liquidity in it. It's not really. People haven't really there hasn't caught much traction.
Yeah, all those things that I'm like claiming and stuff like that, they're just gonna sit in their wallet. I'm gonna wait. It's like it hits an all-time high, and then I'll swap or dump.
Working, sir.
Yeah. Monty Wendy's been behind the scenes working on a bunch of stuff.
They're always working, those guys.
What
is this weight thing though? Like, is it just like is it a meme token?
So for those who sacrifice, there's eight different sacrifices. So you probably have some. It's PULSEX, PULSECHAIN, Genius, Liquid Loans, IMD, right? Mintra.
Yeah, I just pulled it up.
Yeah, so if you sacrifice for any of those, then you qualify for the weight token, which is pretty much, you being, it's pretty much a token given to those people who were able to sacrifice. It's equal sacrifice as well, so it's not based on how much, but more so if you did. So even if you have a small wallet that sacrificed $1, you still qualify for a pool of those tokens based on how long it's been since the end of any of those sacrifices. I think the biggest one is Pulse, then followed by PULSEX, and then I think it's Liquid Loans and Cash and Huracash and Mintra, I think something like that. But if you sacrifice for all 8, then of course you would be able to kind of get all of your the biggest stack of the biggest stack of weight, and then another way to get extra is also to just wait, right? Because every day you're able to get more. Every 24 hours it adds more.
So say I sack for 4 of these things. Do I get 4 claims, or is it just one
you
claim?
get 4 claims exactly, and then and then every day you're able to get more. So it mints more every day until the end, or until PulseChain launches.
And then what?
And then that's it. I mean, from there, the thing is if you did a sacrifice for any of these, there was like a little Easter egg in the white paper saying that potentially there could be some use case for the people who claim it, because when you claim it, you're also collecting shares. So even if you sell off, you're gonna get shares that the people who do not claim, like for example, PulseChain came out and they didn't claim before it ended. The share qualifies you for a pool of these weight tokens as well, which half goes to something called, or a wallet called the Timekeeper, and then the other half goes to those individuals who have those shares from claiming. And then, of course, for having those shares, maybe in the future you'll get something else. Who knows?
What is that? It's an ERC?
It's an
ERC. Is that one ERC? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, the only one I didn't qualify for was Genius, and I'm not, because I'm not.
Did anybody ever talk about that?
And
that Genius? Okay, you're not gonna get into it.
and well, they could. I whatever.
I mean, I don't know much about it. I know about that.
And IMD, and I missed out on IMD because I was just like so busy that I didn't realize they were having like a second sacrifice for like the wallet, and I completely missed out on it.
That's for the bank token, right? The IM.
Yeah, but someone in their chat said they'll hook me up, and they'll sell me a portion. I'm like, sweet.
God damn.
What do you guys think of the? Since we're talking about other shit here, what about that Pulse Dogecoin thing?
I got that.
Oh, I sold mine off.
You like it? I got a little bit.
Yeah, I sold half of it, and it's good because I sold it for the highest rate that you can get for Hex from Hex to Pulse Doge is pretty much like recently. So I'm happy I waited. So I sold it off and I just staked it. Hey.
Bang, bang.
Don't let me interrupt. Finish your thoughts, sir.
Tell us about the doggy coin.
Yeah, keep talking about Pulse Doge. I'm sure Gunther will be happy.
I was going to hold it. I was going to hold it, but then I just looked at what it was worth to Hex, and I was like, yeah, I'd rather just get this Hex and stake it. So,
yeah. Selling them like $5 isn't bad for a meme token free airdrop.
It's not
I swapped half of it when it was like at 380.
Yeah.
And I swapped it for Hex and then threw that Hex into Maxi. Like when they were doing the 1-for-1 mint.
That's a good move. That was a solid play.
That's
probably the best play.
When's that new Maxi launching for the annual stakes?
I don't think they have a date yet, do they?
Yeah, no date.
No date.
No date.
So what is the point of this Pulse Doge thing then? Is it just a fucking meme coin or what? Like
meme
scarcity
coin.
and
it's a meme coin with a better design, basically.
Cap supply.
So funny.
That's it.
Cap supply, with a better design.
And Gunther has a large enough position where he'll just never get out of it. He's gonna shill that thing until the day he dies.
Well, but I don't understand this thing about him wanting to be like this hero. He's like, just watch, because I know I dumped HEDRON on you, but here we go. It's gonna be different.
It's just funny because he could have still been a whale in Pulse Doge, but he didn't need to buy as many coins as he did. He bought so many damn coins. He'll just never be able to exit that position because, like, I think he has, I've looked at his wallet, it's like almost 300,000 Pulse Doge coins. Like, dude's never gonna have enough liquidity. My bet is he'll never have enough liquidity to get out of that position. He's probably looking for projects like Fiat or something to have Pulse Doge so he can take a loan on that thing and get out some portion of his money.
Well, that's the perfect segue. We were talking about Fiat and the lending protocol, and I think you mentioned you were buying some people's allocations and you were making a bunch of yield with some RH coins.
Yeah. So what I was referring to was I left a comment in the Fiat chat today because I've been using it a lot more lately because Tindy's and I have been working on like a crypto course. So like we've been doing some yield farming, LP providing, all that kind of stuff. And so we were using Fiat. And so I've been staking my Fiat tokens that I sacrificed for. And the way it works is when people take their loans out, you earn the fees and whatever tokens they're depositing for loans, right? So like you're getting, and it's all RH tokens or RH ecosystem tokens. So every time, so I'm getting PulseX, I'm getting PulseChain, I'm getting Fiat tokens, I'm getting Hex tokens, I'm getting what else is on there? HEDRON, and so I'm USDC. So I'm just literally getting this awesome. So that's why I said basket. I'm getting this collection of all these tokens that I actually really enjoy. And so it's like almost like doing my DCA for me, holding on to that staked fiat. I get all the fees that people, when they're depositing, I get those fees in whatever token they're depositing. And right now they're offering the ability to take loans on Hex, PULSECHAIN, PULSEX, HEDRON, USDC, and I think fiat. So I'm just getting all the tokens I actually really enjoy, and I'm getting them in fees because I'm staked on fiat. And I left a comment on fiat. It was just like, wow, this works really well. The UI looks great. I was just congratulating the team and the devs. And I told him, I was like, hey, if any of you plebs want to sell your tokens, hit me up. I will do an OTC deal with you, and I will buy your tokens from you, your sacrifice allocation. And I mean, I was just kind of joking. I wasn't trying to be mean, but some people hit me up and, for whatever reason, they need the cash. They don't want the tokens. And so I ended up buying one guy's tokens. He had about $10,000 worth of fiat tokens, and reached out to Buck. If you guys don't know, he's kind of like the mouthpiece for fiat. And then there's two devs that work in the background. And I was just like, hey, is this cool? He's like, let me run it by the devs because obviously it's more work for them. They said it's fine. Less sell pressure for the token. I'm happy. The guy gets cash. He gets to be a little bit more liquid in a bear market, so everyone pretty much won. And I gotta increase my token allocation for fiat. That's one of the projects outside of Richard Hart that I really, really, really like. Fiat is probably my number one favorite token outside of the Richard Hart ecosystem, but not really out of the Richard Hart ecosystem. But
it's using
right?
it, yeah. It's using
yeah, exactly.
That's what I call Hart's Mafia. That's what I consider Hart's Mafia.
Yeah, exactly. It's in that just outer circle. It's on that just on the outside.
So what happens? Say Pulse launches a year later, and the wallet's out. There's a token for that. Does Fiat? Are they open to like importing more tokens that you can earn in yields going forward, or is all this locked up with tokens that will be? Actually, no, that doesn't make sense because PULSEX isn't out yet. Or
No, but I think I understand what you're saying. And
yeah.
Motley, it's a fork of Aave, right?
Yeah, so it's a fork of Aave, and then the actual fiat token just allows you essentially just think of it as like profit sharing with Aave. So when you stake, you're getting a percentage of the fees that people are accruing when they take a loan on whatever token they want to, whether it be Hex, fiat, PulseChain, PulseX, you name it.
Yeah, so they'll definitely be able to add more.
So they'll add stuff. So it's like you have admin keys, but it's just to be able to do just that, right? Add tokens in the future. But when it comes to accessing like the liquidity pools, anything like that, that's all immutable and trustless.
Right. Well, that's an important thing to note for people who haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, so, and Aave's been up for a while now, and it's run flawlessly. It's good code. Good protocol.
Question regarding the allocation stuff. So essentially the devs have to do something in the back end so you can...
Yeah, so the deal we essentially arranged, like I talked to the guy, I was like, will you take USDC? I offered him what he got essentially as his SAC rate. And so all he had to do was essentially confirm that his wallet was, in fact, his wallet. So they weren't giving away someone else's allocation. So they gave him a micro transaction to send to the sacrifice address. He did that, verifying his wallet. Then we agreed to terms, and then after that, I sent him the money, and then the devs are going to reallocate his tokens that would have gone to his address. Now they're going to my address, and the deal's done. Yep. Now, are they going to do that for everyone? Probably not. There's probably a eventual point where like, all right, guys, like we got because they're still working on some other products as well, so they're a little bit busy. This was kind of like a one-time deal.
And it's also you. Who's going to say no to you?
Yeah, but I mean, I've been pretty close to those guys. They're good guys. They work hard, and like I said, I think they're pretty talented, and I think they have a good product that has good market fit. So it just made sense.
Well, that's good to know because I'm gonna hit up IMD with that because I missed out on the IMD SAC. Yeah, I'm sure someone in there wants to sell, and I'll buy you out.
Do you have any fiat?
And I have a good relationship with them.
We can maybe make a deal, Bullish, if you want.
No, I definitely have fiat. I want more.
Like, yeah.
I got IMD though. I'm telling you, I got some.
IMD I completely missed out on, so I'm about to go in their chat and start harassing, and just hit up brother KG and be like, bro, I need a solid.
Hey, I mean, do that. Go into these other Telegram channels and just like, hey guys, I missed out on the SAC. I'm interested in doing an OTC deal, and if you know the devs or if you know the team, they can. It's a good way to do it too, right? Because it's kind of trustless as long as you actually trust the devs to go back in there.
Trustlessness.
Yeah, you know, well, there's always that degree of trust, right? Like
to
some form or another. This is pretty, I would say this is pretty good. Like you essentially just have to trust the devs aren't lazy and do their job to reallocate the tokens once you guys do it. But as long as you know the team and they're cool with it and you find someone that doesn't want their tokens anymore, it's a win-win for everyone, right? Because you're decreasing sell pressure at launch. You get the tokens you want. The team gets to just help you out. It doesn't take that long. So, you know, everyone wins in that situation.
So it's not. Is this pulse chain only? Is the sack for pulse chain, or is it?
You talking about for fiat?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're planning on, I think, just launching on pulse chain, but they're also looking at doing other chains as well. So Ethereum and maybe a few other layer ones. But pulse chain is the primary focus.
Yeah, because if they go that route, they might just do airdrops to current holders if they go on other chains, maybe.
Yeah, that's another thing. You can't have expectations, but they've talked about airdrops, they've talked about buybacks, stuff like that, because there's some of the fees also go to a treasury that they can use however they want at their disposal. They're all finance guys. They work for a large hedge fund in Australia, so they know what they're doing when it comes to money and lending.
Yeah, the main guy's a CPM.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And this is one of those things like with Richard Hart too, right? It's one, find a good product that has good market fit, and then find a good team. Invest in the people or the person as well. If they're talented, invest in that person. If they know what they're talking about and their incentives align, it's got a making or at least potential for a very good project.
Yeah, and they're launching other stuff too. One of them I think is like famous.io or something like that. And some other thing with a pig that I saw.
I gotta write this down.
Famous.
Is this another thing they're working on?
Famous.io will be leverage trading, so you'll be able to short and long hex. You can technically do that with. You can technically do that with lending, the lending platform of fiat, if you know what you're doing. But Famous.io will be essentially decentralized leverage trading. And then they have Fatty, which is going to be like their wallet they're coming out with. And they all work together and they all essentially level each other up, right? And this is what I was talking about, investing in the team when you know there's smart people. Like I know Buck is a smart guy. He's cornering that whole market on this new ecosystem, the leverage trading, the lending, the wallet. He's essentially taking that first mover advantage. He's going to try to corner the whole market. So if he's successful, we all get filthy rich. So that's why I was so... This was the one project that I really went big in outside of Richard Hart's sacrifice.
That's why I'm so bullish on the Hearts Mafia thing. Because, you know, you invest in the right products and the right people, you're going to get filthy rich.
You over there just shotgunning, though. You're just like, everything.
It's just
everything. I'm a little bit more selective. You're like, fuck it.
Yeah, dude. Like,
Sackface, where? So where
like, because think about it. If you knew the PayPal Mafia would have become PayPal Mafia, you would have been investing left and right, you know, shotgun. But like, no one knew what was going to happen. So like,
yeah, of course.
I'm just trusting on that perspective that I have, and like knowing that Richard Hart is like a dope ass dude, knowing that like everyone who follows him and like. Are again bringing those values and morals into their products, you know. So it's just like,
and you know what the ironic part is, as great as fiat potentially could be, I'm still giving up a huge opportunity cost with I could have sacrificed more for PulseChain and PulseX. And you got to think every time you invest in one of these projects, you're essentially banking on them performing better than PulseChain or PulseX. Is that likely? Probably not. In the long run, probably not. So you have to really weigh these decisions wisely, because there is opportunity cost, whether you see it or not. You had the ability to sacrifice for PulseChain, PulseX, and you choose to put more money or some more money into these other projects. Where would that have been? Where would your capital have benefited you the most, right? And honestly, it probably is PulseChain, PulseX, but it's not bad taking a flyer too.
Yeah, there was a way for me to buy someone's allocation of for their pulse sacrifice. I'll do it right now.
I bought a guy's PulseChain sacrifice allocation. Whether or not I actually get it, we'll see. But
well, yeah, that's the issue.
That one's a little bit more like I'm relying on good faith, but we'll see.
Why did they want to unload? Like, was it they want to see some money?
It was some family members that he said he got in, and they're just tired of waiting. It's been over a year, and they're like, "Where am I?" He's like, "I'm tired of them asking where their coins are, and like I don't have the cash to pay them back out." So I offered them the cash, and we'll see if I get my pulse or not.
So Molly, what are some of these devs that I assume you've talked to them, right? you maybe not say buds, but how pumped are they for PulseChain and building on PulseChain?
Well, I know one company that we hired at one point called Rapid Innovations. They're a team of devs, and Richard's actually hired them a couple times to work on some PulseChain products, just like some of the busy work, some of the user interface. They're excited. If you go check them out, I think they have a YouTube channel. They talk a lot about PulseChain and the products that they're coming out with. So Rapid Innovation.
I'll write it down.
I think it's Rapid Innovation. I'll check, but I'm pretty sure it's Rapid Innovation. We use those guys. You guys know Hex Live. He's the dev. We hired him to build PulseX bot for us. So that Twitter PulseX bot at PulseX bot, that's ours. Hex Live built that for us. So it gives you all the buy and burn daily. So like I think Tendy's mentioned it on his stream with Richard the other night. We're up to like 55 or 60 billion tokens bought and burn already. So you're talking about at that SAC rate, you're talking $5 to $6 million. And let's say it does a 10x, you're talking $50, $60 million of buy pressure within a couple months. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I think all the devs are excited. You see all these different devs in our community, and this is another reason why this ecosystem is so rich. There's a lot of talent in here, not just devs and just business. Any industry, any walk of life you can think of, there's a hexagon that's probably at the top of their field in that class.
Yep.
I've never seen anything like this community.
Yeah, that's why I was so motivated to let me just go, all in this community and this ecosystem, because it was just like the value you gain from it is just like something I've never seen until like the early days of the web, when like everything was new and everyone was dropping alpha because everything was like so fresh. It was like, that's what it feels like for me. It feels like I'm experiencing like the web 1 days where like everything was new and exciting.
Yeah, you can't buy these connections or networking. Like this is the epitome of like social currency. Like this community is probably going to be one of the wealthiest communities like on the planet. When you think about it, seriously, it really will be. It really will be.
Well, that's why I like asking guys like you, some of the guys that are closer to that side of the aisle when it comes to this stuff, because we don't hear about it all the time, right? Like people coming into crypto, they're just looking. They see the YouTubers, they see the Furus. They don't get a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and there's plenty of other blockchains to build on, right? There's plenty of cheaper. Not cheaper. Like Pulse will be cheap, but cheaper options in Ethereum to build on. So why Pulse for some of these devs? Is it because they were in Hex before? What do you think it is about Pulse specifically? You think it's the community? Why build on Pulse?
There's a lot of devs in the community. Richard Hart has the largest war chest to essentially acquire these devs. Like he's got
what do you say, 22 now or something?
Yeah, probably. I haven't kept track. Like he can pay these devs more than anyone else can. He's literally stealing Ethereum devs. Yeah, and he should, because he says it all the time. His number one problem is probably deployment of capital, and I believe him. That's not a joke. It's a subtle flex, but it's probably true. He probably doesn't deploy his capital efficiently enough with what he could do. But with that war chest, he hires some of the best devs. His main dev that he never discloses sounds like goddamn Neo. Like that dude just sounds like he can create anything.
Who is it?
I have no idea. All I know is Dev Kyle is one of the smartest devs I've ever personally met. Like next level, I've seen him interact with other devs, and I've seen how his knowledge goes over their heads. And I know Dev Kyle has spoken about this secret Neo dev that Richard has, and he gives him the biggest praise in the world. He's like, he is the smartest man in the room.
Tom Gillespie for sure.
And yeah, it's Tom Gillespie, bro. I would. we're in a simulation if it's Tom Gillespie.
Oh fuck yeah! I want to be part of that simulation, man.
Dude, is he doing good? I haven't seen him pop up. I haven't seen him pop up in a long time. He must have sold.
I tagged him the other day.
He must have sold.
He had stakes for sure.
For sure.
Because fuck this, I can't do this anymore.
He's like, my $5,000's $500. I'm out.
Well, I think when he made that stake too, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna do it for a year. We'll see how it works out. I don't fucking think he made it. I think he dumped it all.
Yeah. It's funny, man. When people get rid of their bags, they slowly fade away. I mean, Richard talks about it all the time. You know, when you no longer have a bag in something, you just don't talk about it, or you shit talk it. That's why Hex is so awesome. Like you're once you stake and you lock in your commitments, like you're here whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I look at it. I was like, I'm stuck with you motherfuckers for 15 years. Like,
Same.
I don't got a choice. Like,
might as well work together and pump each other's bags.
Yeah, like, let's be kind to each other. Let's figure out how to like pump each other's bags and like.
Yeah, put the maximalism down, you know, and we'll keep pumping each other's bags.
World domination or nothing. No, it's
you're
funny,
right, man. With the when Johnny was saying earlier, like people got to stop fucking worrying about people shitting on Hex. They can't hurt the price. They're not holding fucking bags. They got no skin in the game.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I wanted to talk on the point too that you just mentioned that Johnny would, and just briefly, but like the maxi point thing too is people don't understand, and I think Johnny touched on this a little bit, is at the end of the day, no one controls anyone, what they buy, what they sell, anything like that, right? Like we sacrifice for all these freedoms. There's a reason for it. Now, that doesn't give you a free pass to come in and play the victim card and just like, oh, you're picking on me, you're a maxi, you don't like this random coin. If your coin's a shit coin and I fucking have seen that model built 1,000 times, if I can go look up the code and it's literally a copy and paste of a reflection token that I've seen fail 12 times over, if you're telling me your token pays you out in another token, I automatically know that is a legitimate, we get shit for it all the time, a Ponzi scheme. It is a legitimate Ponzi scheme and will collapse. So I will warn people about that. I will tell people, hey, you can go buy that shit if you want to. It will collapse. I hope you got in on the ground floor, and even then, you're going to be lucky to get out because they tax you so heavily. You know why they tax you so heavily? They got to pay Jim that comes in behind you. They're going to take his money to pay Susan. They're going to take Susan monies to pay Joe. Like, that's how this stuff works. That's why people get it conflated with Hex, and they don't do any research to like, oh, well, you guys need new users to come in to pay 38, 40% APY. It's like, no. We're paid out in our token. Our token inflates just like Bitcoin, but instead of going to miners to dump on your head, it goes to stakers to increase scarcity on the market. You get paid to create scarcity in the Hex ecosystem via the inflation. But with these other tokens, right away, if you tell me your token that you stake produces USDC, I'm like, oh no, the dude that you shield to get in, he's paying your $3.20 USDC allocation. Like that's just obvious to me. So like I'll just like, hey, you shouldn't buy that. You want to continue to go on, buy it, by all means, do it. Just understand this community is going to hold people to higher standards. And you guys talked about it earlier. If you want to build something here, come with some audits. They're fucking expensive, but guess what? Codes have bugs. Devs aren't perfect. 9 times out of 10, code is buggy as hell the first run. It takes a couple of reiterations to get it right. And even then, there's still usually vulnerabilities that can be hacked. And like when you're messing with people's money, you should take those extra lanes. So audits, going in and making it as immutable as possible if you can. Sometimes, you know, it's funny because you do have to walk stuff back. Like Richard is about immutability and no admin keys, but guess what? Now he's building a layer 1. It doesn't work that way. You have a chain that has to be able to update and adapt as time goes on. Like you have to have some level of admin keys. Bridges. At first he was like, oh, my bridge isn't going to have an he's like, my bridge isn't going to have an admin key. Oh, wait, talk to my super dev, and he says that's not possible right now. Like, shit, I take that back. We're going to have an admin key on that. Sorry, guys. You know,
bro, we gotta make this photo with like the pulse colors in a Superman outfit. Fucking super dev.
You're the man. You're the man to do it.
Super dev.
But it's the thing, right? Like, don't mistake maximalism for just holding people to higher standards. Like, you can go there, you can buy whatever you want, you can promote whatever you want, but just be aware of what you're actually promoting. Like if you're taking on the role of an educator and you don't know what you're talking about, you probably shouldn't be speaking on it.
Yeah, one of the things I was saying is like if you come into this community, and this is what I've noticed since I've been here, if you're coming in and you're calling yourself a Hex streamer or a PulseChain streamer, that comes with a certain responsibility. Like you shouldn't be shilling other shit or shit that you know that's crap. You know, if you're like one of these random crypto streamers or influencers, then it's like, you get a little bit of slack, and then it's like, if someone comes for your neck, it is what it is. But
bro, that's their business model. They get shill as many coins as they can, get people in, give them referral links. They don't make their money off their crypto investments. They make their money off referral links, straight up, plain simple. I mean, that's
what I said to Johnny. I'm sorry to cut you off there, but that
no, you're fine.
Said about referral links is that Hex literally destroys all those business models for people.
Yeah, because
you don't need it.
We don't need the. You don't need the money.
You're self-custody. You do it your fucking self. right? So
Now-
people aren't interested in trying to onboard Hex.
Now, what I will say is a good idea, and I'm not saying it just because we're doing it, but like we will start another channel that focuses on the broader crypto space, and we will mention all this other crap that I'm not as interested in, clearly, but I'm going to do that for the betterment of the community, right? Because like I love doing these streams and good, but what are we doing? Like Richard Hart talks about all the time, we're all just freaking circle jerking it here right now, right? Like we're just having a good time talking about Hex and our own ecosystem, but we're not gaining new users. Like we're lucky if 1 or 2 new people hopped in and saw this random stream and maybe stayed long enough to actually learn something worthwhile. But if you go out there and like do a new style crypto show like BitBoy, Chico Crypto, something like that, you can actually gain new adoption and then slowly feed them in the good stuff. Just like, oh, by the way, like you don't want to get wrecked like Luna or Celsius or BlockFi or any of this shit. Like you can earn trustless yield in space. The products do exist. There is stuff like Hex. There is a founder like Richard Hart. There is a decentralized exchange that's doing a buy and burn that's never been done before. Like there are these amazing products that you can lead people to, but the trick is to gain foothold in that new audience, right? And you can do it that Trojan horse kind of way. And I don't think we have enough community members that do that yet, right? Because like you look at all of our audience, it's just all hexagon based. Yeah. Very little of us are reaching further out.
Like me, like a lot of the stuff that I'm like helping people behind the scenes, because you know there's a few shows that are launching, which
DSL.
DSL is one of them, and DSL is like even
Great
though
title.
it's like, thanks.
You're welcome.
Even though you know she's a hexagon, you know it's not just gonna be a bunch of hexagons as guests. You know she's trying to like go out to like the different communities and bring them on, and not really like talk about crypto for a whole hour. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a different strategy.
Attractive, fun female works too. Great marketing.
There's some other people that are going to be launching channels, related around travel, related around business, related around construction. I mean, that has absolutely nothing to do with crypto, but they're going to throw in a hex.com, 38% APY in the corner, and that's their way of promoting Hex. So
yeah, and I like our community should be smart enough to know that, like Motley said, you can't just be talking in the echo chamber the whole time, right? When people are out there.
I think we are, but I don't think. Well,
not
okay,
everyone.
So I can speak it on myself, right? For myself, as far as this goes, because like, I think we are. I think we recognize it, but do I really want to spend time? Like, time is valuable, right? Like, there's a reason why we invested in a product that literally monetizes our time. Do I want to spend my time studying subpar products? Not really. But if I take in perspective what the grander picture is, and it's to grow adoption for that superior product, then maybe I have to bite the bullet and learn more about Chainlink and learn more about optimism, which optimism is actually not that bad from what I've been looking into. But looking into these new projects and stuff, like, is my time best spent there? Maybe not. But if it's better for the bigger picture of what I do want to promote, which is Hex, Richard Hart ecosystem, and crypto getting back to its roots, making it as decentralized and cutting out as much of the middleman as you can, then hell yeah, maybe that is something I should start considering and, bite the bullet on that and start doing that outreach, whatever it takes, right? Like that is the end goal. Yeah. Without adoption, without new users, you die. It doesn't matter how good of a product you have if no one knows about it. It doesn't matter.
True. Yeah, like we're doing the whole going into the whole Ethmos and Cosmo ecosystem. We launched the Polestars validator, which is live.
That's awesome.
So by the way, they extended the free claim for the airdrop. So if no one has claimed yet, you still have time. Right now, each Ethmos is worth like $2 and like 10 cents, 15 cents around there. So, you're probably waiting for like a big bag there.
I think you can get anywhere between like 100 to like probably 1,000 coins, depending on how much Ethereum gas fees or how much you moved around out there.
You can go claim it, swap it for Hex if you want, or delegate it to the Polestars validator, and then that validator, the whole purpose of it. Yeah,
what
it's
is
live.
it, EVMOS?
EVMOS is EVMOS.
EVMOS.org.
You can redelegate, right?
Yeah, you can redelegate. Yeah, so you can redelegate, and then the whole purpose of that validator is to promote PulseChain, and figure out how to like integrate and do airdrops for them to bring them that they can claim on PulseChain. So like if you're delegating on EVMOS, once PulseChain is live, we're gonna work with different projects and stuff like that, and also use majority of the revenue that has nothing to do with the expenses of like operating the validator, and like give that back to the people who are staking, but they're gonna claim it on the PulseChain side. So kind of force them to go over there. So it's like, there's free money waiting for you over there. Go claim it.
Molly, what was the other thing you were just talking about that you just mentioned? I'm gonna write
So
down.
Polestars, so that's the validator. Yeah. So that's
Yeah, on the EVMOs, I'm
on the
earning
EVMOs.
like 1.5% like every day.
Yeah.
Something like that,
Nice.
which is awesome.
Solid.
Yes, you can go get the free money.
Gotta get out before it collapses.
Go get the free money, delegate it to Polestars, and you'll literally be earning money to like help promote PULSECHAIN. So
Polestars.
Yeah, I'm looking for it, but I can't seem to find it.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop it. So everyone can find it easy.
Yeah, because I've been claiming my rewards, and I'm stacking. It's getting up there.
I didn't even hear about this thing.
Yeah, so we're in the final spread.
Too much golf.
Yeah, we're trying to hit our
loot, bro.
18,000 coins. Once we get that 18,000 coins, then everyone starts receiving their incentives. So
well, how amazing is this space? Like, I mean, it's so funny because the old narrative of there's no like free money in this world is so not true in this new industry that we're in. Cryptocurrency, like that saying is just put to rest real quick. It was funny because like we're making this course and like I was doing some filming for the intro side and like I was talking about airdrops. And it's wild when you think about it. Like I've made tens of thousands. I'm probably like getting close to 6 figures in airdrops now, right? Like I've gone out of my way to like hunt a few airdrops and like it's been pretty successful. And you can make I take that back. I've definitely made 6 figures on airdrops. Like there's a lot of free money out here, and hexagons are going to get a lot of it because look, we're going to be we're going to be one of the richest communities there is. Guess what? People want to market to where the money is, and we're going to be where the money is. So if you're a hexagon, if you have hex stakes, if you have sacrifice for PulseChain, if you sacrifice for PulseX, guess what? You're probably going to qualify for many airdrops for years to come. You're going to have a lot of free money coming your way.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, dude,
you don't have to cross your fucking fingers, man.
You don't have to. It's guaranteed.
No, I know.
There's too many people in our community that build and do projects, and they will market to the community. Like whether their intention's good, bad, whatever, it doesn't matter. Free money is free money. You wanna sell it, you wanna hold it, whatever. But I mean, man, we have a lot of money coming our way. And I mean, we've seen it already. Like, I mean, I went around collecting all my weight last night or the night before because gas was like 5 gwei, like it was stupid cheap. And so like I think I walked away with like 140,000 weight tokens or something like that. So free money.
Nice.
Are you the one who dumped it?
No, I haven't. I don't care enough to dump it. I'm just gonna hold on to it for now. I'm gonna wait. No pun intended. I'm gonna wait.
Another thing that's got me personally so excited for all these airdrops is like knowing we're going to be one of the only communities left over once this whole bear market fiasco is over. There's a lot of people who's leaving the industry. A lot of people who was here 6 months ago, 3 months ago.
And it's not necessarily a good thing too. Like, I mean, obviously if you come back from a bear market, chances are you're going to do really well. It's just how it works. But unfortunately, the space that we're in just chews up so many of these investors. They come in and then they leave broken, right? And this is why the crypto market is so cyclical, because essentially everyone that comes in this space doesn't know what they're doing. They fall into these pitfalls. They fall into these essentially scammers out there that are there to separate them from their money, and they leave devastated and they leave with a bad taste in their mouth. This is one of many reasons that we have trouble with adoption in crypto. One, there's a barrier to entry with the knowledge gap, which I think hexagons are doing a pretty good job trying to close that. But then it's just the rest of the industry beats up all these investors coming in and they leave broken every time. So it's almost like you have to wait for a new wave to come through, or for them to have enough time gap where essentially the wounds aren't as fresh and they're like, oh, I'll give it one more shot kind of thing. So it's again, it's why I like promoting what Richard Hart is doing and the ecosystem heading in a better direction, because I think for the longevity of the space, you're going to need that, because you can't just continue to chew up and spit out your investors every time you bring them in.
Right.
No, and there's it's a crazy time of the world right now too, though, with everything going on.
Yeah.
Like that, who knows what things would look like with maybe a recovery or something, but
we haven't seen
anything for a little while.
We haven't seen anything like this. housing market crash was in 2008, before Bitcoin even existed. Like, this is the first time crypto is going to go through a straight up macro bear market. So,
and it could be like, I know
a little bit of unknown
word, right? Like the Great Reset, but it could be a reset. It could be a reset.
I feel like I should be like on Oregon Trail, like strapping up the wagon and like getting ready to move west. The Great Reset. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's weird. I feel like we're in for more pain. It seems like it's weird, right? Because the consensus seems to be like everyone thinks we're in for more pain, getting a little bit of pump. Maybe this is the bottom, but man, the macro looks awful. So we'll see. Continue to DCA.
Have your bags ready, people.
Pretty much.
What do you mean? I thought we were going all the way back up. That's what people are saying.
I heard $30 last year, man. What the fuck, bro?
Hey, talk to Gunther. that chart was straight up like this. $30 by end of sacrifice.
Dude, I gotta
put Wales' prediction of $10 to shame. It's like, nah, 30.
I was gonna bring up the Wales prediction, but then you jumped in the chat with the 30. I was like, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's nothing, bro. Put a 3x on that.
Okay, I think I
put some respect on Gunther's name.
Dude, I got a good name for Gunther. I got a good meme I'm gonna make for Gunther.
Nice. Make sure you throw a Pulse Doge coin in there. No, surprise. I'll do a surprise.
Really?
Yeah, surprise.
Okay. All right.
If it's good, if it's not good, you can just share now. If it's trash, you might as well just share it.
Shit's subjective. I don't know. It's not going to be objectively funny. Some people fucking hate it. So I don't know. We'll see. Lock down that Pulse Doge, people. Yeah, well, we'll see. I think this. I mentioned a few weeks ago. I think this delay of PulseChain is a blessing in disguise, man. I really do.
I'm going second on that. Because it's got me time to get it. It's got me time to get a second little job and make it easy. Get some money for this.
I just think, not just for the DCA, I just mean for all the shit that's been crumbling around us, and Hexkins have been pushing for, well, all the stuff we do push for, the self-custody, trust is immutable, blah, 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 blah. And Richard's out here battling all these people, and they're all, like, he's getting shit on from everybody in the space, calling him a scammer. So, like, if Pulse did launch last year, or this early January, it comes out, and then all this shit happened, it may not be as impactful as having all this stuff built down and then Pulse coming after.
I agree. It's tough though, right? Because you see everything failing and collapsing around us. You see that everyone's hand was in each other's pockets, essentially trying to create DeFi yield. And you see the dominoes collapsing now, right? Like they say, like when the tide goes out, you see who's actually got swim trunks on or not, you know, right? And pretty much it turns out Hexicans are the only ones that are still just chilling and everyone else is out with the tide. So it's tough because I see that, but does everyone else see that? And I see all these other people and they still seem clueless to me. I don't know. But what I will say is I know watching the spaces, like Richard, he was in that NFT community. I think he did a very good job. Common ground, crushed the people that tried to stand to him. And then what was really good that I commented on with Gary, he ended up getting the mic, and he did really well. Like, I know I was raising my hand for that mic. Tone Vase and a little bit on that Dennis Porter guy. And I know I was just going in there to try to savage people. Like I was like clicking, give me the mic. And Gary went in there and it was funny. At first I was like, Gary, go for the throat. Like in my head, I wasn't one of the people DMing him. Evidently people were DMing him to be savage. But in my head, I was just like, go for the throat, like put him down. And, but he was very civil, right? And it goes to show you, like, you get a lot more flies with honey than vinegar. And he handled himself very well. Dude, and I thought Maddie did a really cool job when he went on Social Blade and looked it up. Gary got 600 followers from that day. And Tone Vase, a guy that has like a 30, 50, 100x, whatever his sub count is, then Gary got 50. And it just shows you, like, Tone Vase is so lost in the times he was unwilling to learn and adapt with the space. Mm-hmm. He wears not having a single Ethereum or ever working on the Ethereum blockchain as a badge of honor, like a moron.
Bro, you can just put your NFT on Bitcoin and then we'll be fine. I'm okay with NFTs, just build it on Bitcoin.
so much innovations and gains have passed him by. I've heard stories of that guy literally on a beach crying because he's been wrecked so many times in trading and lost so much money. Like that guy is the epitome of what you don't want to be in the space. Just blinders on, ignorant to everything that's going around you, and you will turn into a wreck pleb. That is a maxi. That is a real maxi. What we have in Hex, not really.
Even Richard, even at the end of the day, Richard doesn't hate Bitcoin. Right. Like, Richard will still admit Bitcoin is better.
We wouldn't be here without Bitcoin.
Exactly, right? I don't know why people can get this. We're like, oh, he thinks it's shit. No.
He even says
compared to the rest of everything else coming out, right? It's technological advancements.
Like, it's like if you want to be the stock market, sure, throw some money.
Yeah, he even tells you instead of buying gold, buy Bitcoin. Like he even tells you that. Like
he said,
in every debate too. Like you see how these guys, like every time they bring up a conversation or when they debate with Richard, every single time, bro, he brings up like several points and they just grab the one that they want to attack, but they ignore everything else and they just stick to that.
Oh wait, 90% is owned by Richard. Like I've heard it all. Like you're
and to the point, right?
When you stake, Richard gets your coins. I hear that one.
Yeah.
You just can't help those people anymore because they're so misinformed. It's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. It was funny.
They don't want to be informed. They don't want to be. They don't want to live in the reality where what I thought was right this whole time was actually incorrect, and the knowledge I was giving other people actually got people wrecked. It is very hard to wake up and see that image in the mirror and admit to yourself that you was that bad person. Now you could be a better person. You can definitely be a better person. That's doable. But taking the first step to say, yo, I fucked up, that's a hard thing to swallow.
I agree with you, Tap, but don't forget, he gave these motherfuckers Hex for free.
A lot.
I know. I definitely heard about it.
The proof's in the pudding there, man. Literally. Like, he could show, this address would have gotten X. This is how much your X is worth today.
Right.
And this is another cool thing about our community. Because all these other audience, Bitcoin, these YouTube influencers, like their audience are numbers to them. They don't give a shit.
Yeah,
they really don't. They don't see them as people, because if they saw them as actual people and individuals, they wouldn't be able to sleep at night. They wouldn't be able to sleep with themselves because people are losing the money they need for cars, to live, anything. They're losing their life savings based off what these guys are feeding them. And if they saw them as individuals, as people like we all see each other now on the screen, they wouldn't be able to do that to them unless they're just really bad people. And there are some people like that, but a majority of people, for the most part, want to do good and would not be able to sleep with themselves if they knew they're wrecking, like they knew the person or they didn't see them as a number. And exactly. And this is what makes our community so strong too, is one, Hex, at least for the OGs, and like I was very fortunate enough to be an OG, financially set me up to where I don't need to do that, right? Like I don't need a shill link. I don't need money or anything like that. So you have that. It makes it a lot easier to stand on the moral high ground. But on top of that, we also have this community where we just all know each other. And yes, we do a lot of these circle jerks, but we know each other. Like I know all you guys in the chat. You guys know me. Like even people that don't go on live streams, I've interacted with so many of these people for 2-3 years and haven't gone anywhere else. Like I know them. I know stuff about their family. I know where they live. I know what they do for a job. Like I see them as a person, not just some random avatar. Like I could sell him a Bybit link real quick. Like it's not like that with our community, and it just makes us so much stronger than them. So much stronger than them.
Yeah. If for people that don't know, the Alex Saunders guy, I think it was one of the BitBoys tweets, and basically, and then there it is. Richard again is the one to fucking expose this guy. Now all these other figures following behind, saying, "Oh yeah, he owes me money too." But there was one of the screenshots where
it took a leader like Richard to stand up and do that shit.
Yes, and then
because he was scamming all of them.
Yeah,
he was scamming all of them.
Yeah, and then one screenshot of the taxi release said, "Oh, I hate most of my audience anyways. Like I fucking hate my audience. I can't stand it.
Yeah,
I hate at least 50% of the people that fucking pay me to show them this bullshit newsletter and course whatever he has. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's
gross.
Disgusting.
It's gross, and it's funny. This reminded me of a point that you brought up earlier about everything collapsing around us right now in the space, and it makes the eventual launch of PULSECHAIN that much stronger. And another thing that kind of made me think about it more was, if you've noticed on Twitter, and like again, I'm so in the weeds with this community and everything that's going on, and just paying attention, I see stuff with even like BitBoy, right? You can see in the past week, couple weeks, month, he has been all over Richard's dick. Guess what? look at BitBoy. Okay, he's in trouble with his audience for shilling Celsius. Got them wrecked. Oh, guys, don't worry. I'm going to try to do a class action lawsuit, even though I know that we're not getting our money back. I'm there with you. I lost millions.
Submit it.
Yeah, I lost millions of dollars too, guys. I'm wrecked. So, you know, and he is. He probably did lose a lot of money, but he's got an angry audience after him. He's lost a ton of money. You know, once your bags all start shrinking and you made an investment in PulseChain, and guess what? A lot of these big influencers that talk a lot of shit have made investments, whether it publicly or behind the scenes. their bags are desperate for something like PulseChain. Like they're gonna start turning and like, Richard, like, please pump my bag, sir, because I am broke as hell after this bear market. Too many people were in Luna. Too many people were in Celsius. All these lending platforms, like their bags are hurting. And a lot of them have invested in PulseChain. So I can already see BitBoy just lining up, buttering up Richard, getting ready for the launch of PulseChain. Just like, I've been supporting him since day one. No one else wanted to support him, but I was there.
I unapologetically love Richard Hart. I'm sorry. I
apologize.
I'm sorry. Dude, where the fuck is this from?
I bought PulseChain, but I'm not going to promote it.
Like, he wants to be like his stepbrother now.
I unapologetically love Richard Hart. Someone should totally put that together.
Hey.
We gotta get that, guys.
Asking when he's gonna hang out with Richard is like, come on, dude.
Oh yeah, man. He's like, oh Richard, we gotta get in here. We gotta do this and this. Like, bro, like, yeah, he might be a scammer. I don't know. He might be, but I unapologetically love him. I unapologetically love him.
Hey, and you know what? There's so many people that came over from his audience, and that's something I always have to remind myself as well. I don't necessarily like these influencers that are in place, and I think a lot of them have done some very bad things. But at the end of the day, it's not about them, right? You have to keep that in your mind. It's like, and Richard knows this, it's about their audience. He could probably give two shits about most of them. He's going there to reach their audience, not the host. He doesn't care about the host. He's going to the audience. He's going to lay his Red Bull on the fucking table and just like, look, I know more about crypto than the guy you follow. You might want to come check me out. You might want to come see what I'm building, because I'm actually the knowledgeable one in the space. I'm one of the few crypto punks that's actually cyberpunks left in the space. You might want to come learn from me instead of the guy that just gets paid to show you a freaking leverage trading link.
Yeah, and how many of these people are actually using this testnet that are coming to PulseChain? Like, the numbers are insane. I remember just even a couple.
And that's only gonna be a fraction, bro.
Yeah,
that's just a fraction.
And you're on a fucking testnet, and
it's testnet. Yeah, most people
using
most people don't give a shit about that. But that shows you how immersive our community is, and like what next level like our community as a whole is. Like, we're all up in testnet, trying it out, making sure we know the ropes, testing out new products. Like, it's gonna be a fun ride. PulseChain's gonna pump hard as hell to begin with, I think.
PulseChain
or dumps. Maybe it dumps. I hope it dumps.
If PulseChain, that's an interesting thing to think about, because if PulseChain does jump, even when you look at the 45k addresses or whatever, I think it's still going to do better than PulseX, just because
initially
of the, 3-to-1.
Initially,
yes.
So my theory is PulseChain goes on the tear first. It's just the easiest. It's the layer one. They're the most popular. Everyone likes it, right? PulseX has better tokenomics. I don't give a shit how many more people sacrifice for it, feel like they missed out, over leverage that with buying more PulseX. PulseX has better tokenomics, and what I described to you guys earlier with that PulseX bot. In a couple months, give what it burned like a 10x, maybe more, and you're talking 50, 60. What does 50, 60 million dollars do to the price of Hex right now, Morgan?
$2, $2-3.
Yeah. You put us into probably multi-dollar Hex.
Yeah, easily.
Guess what? That's going to be really good for PulseX. And eventually, imagine this. You bought into the hype. Okay, PulseChain's pumping. You're paying a premium for PulseChain because you're stupid. You're not buying what's dipping. You're not buying PHEX. You're not buying PulseX. You're like, I want the new shiny object that's pumping the hardest because I'm a good investor. So you buy PulseChain. So you're buying it. You're paying a premium. Eventually, you're going to peak out. And the problem with PulseChain is a lot of people, especially if they haven't gone on testnet yet, you make dick as a validator. You make dick. I think David Feeder has the #1 validator, and they've earned like I don't know, 100 Pulse to distribute amongst everyone. And Pulse is gonna be fractions of a cent.
Can I have some more? Wow.
Validating might as well just be like, hey, I don't want to see these tokens. I don't want to accidentally trade them, sell them, whatever. You can just hold on to it for me, because you are not earning yield off that shit. I'll tell you right now. So what you're then going to see is like, well, fuck, PulseChain doesn't earn me yield. They might
PulseX
dabble a little
does.
bit in liquidity farming and all that stuff, but PulseX, now that's a different story. This thing has automatic buy and burn. Guess what? That only ramps up with the success of trading on PulseChain.
Which we
It also has single-sided staking, which all these new tokens or projects that are coming are probably going to allocate a certain percentage to that single-sided staking, and you start getting a collection of all these people building on the chain just for staking your bag of PulseX, which is going to be a lot higher yield than a validator. And people are like, oh shit, I might have fucked up buying PulseChain at a premium, and PulseX is over here burning, buying, single-sided staking, earning crazy yield. I think I might have made a mistake, and then the masses are usually wrong. It's just how it goes.
Yeah,
and right now, the masses are itching to buy some PulseChain, and let them buy. I'll keep stacking up PulseX. That's fine. Or I'll buy P. Or
not at all.
Even PHEX. A lot of people are sleeping on PHEX because ultimately people are buying Hex right now, and they'll definitely be buying Hex once Richard gives us a actual time frame. Like, hey, I think we're launching within 1 week, 2 weeks. Yeah, God forbid. But let's say he comes out with a serious time frame, like, guys, you have 48 hours, we're going live, or something like that. Obviously, we'll have a nice pump on price, but what are people buying Hex for? They want the copy, and then they're going to use that Hex to swap for the new shiny object. So guess what? You're going to have probably a decent little dip on PHEX when the new chain goes live, and people are going to sleep on it because ultimately, what do you want at the end of the day? You want the best passive income you can get. You want that ultimate yield, and none of Richard's products step on each other's toes, and the narrative hasn't changed. Hex is still the #1 store of value and the highest yield producing token, and you might be able to buy it on a discount when it launches because people want PulseChain. Buying PulseChain is probably in my opinion, the biggest noob mistake you could do when we go live, but we'll see.
Well, I'm not buying. That's why I think people are going to buy it though.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah, I feel like I need some more.
Here you go. I do too. I do too, but I refuse to pay a premium.
I agree. Dan, if you want some my pulse, you send me some of that fiat you got. We'll talk to you. No, I'm not giving any of my pulse away. That was like my biggest thing because I missed Hex, and then once I found Richard and this came, the PulseChain sack came out, just like, fuck this, man. I'm going as hard as I can at this.
Yeah.
Post show.
I started delivering food just for PulseChain, man. I'm not giving my bag.
Smart. Well, and look how awesome those sacrifices were. So like Richard did it for a couple of reasons, right? To eliminate some of the liquid supply. So that was good. So we had 2 sacrifices for that. And it honestly saved people, right? Like we started approaching our run. We started to approach the top of the market. And Richard was taking your high value tokens at the time. And he essentially, he encouraged us to sacrifice for this product. That's going to be day one. We have a large allocation of it, and we sacrificed for what? Like PulseChain, the price was anywhere between like 13 cents to 17 cents, and then PulseX we were upwards of 30, 35 cents. I don't know if we got 40.
Oh, sorry, PulseChain was, we dipped down, and then PulseX. Yeah.
PulseX was about 35 cents at the top. So like that's a pretty good evaluation compared to where we're at right now, right? Like, so that locked up a lot of our net worth at higher towards value. The higher end of the market. So that ended up being well. And like if you went hard like you did in PulseChain or PulseX, that turned out to be the best play you probably could have done at the time. Honestly, I wish I sacrificed more of my Hex at the time. I think it would have been a better move.
And what's funny is that all the other tokens that sacrificed too, they got a better valuation on their tokens too, even if they're not a part of the Hex community or Richard Hart thing.
Yeah,
that's something I think about a lot. I'm like, wow, that's funny. Like Richard Hart low key saved everyone. He tried to save everyone.
The market was hot, and now they got a great entry into day one, layer one, essentially better new Ethereum 2.0 and a better the ultimate DEX in my opinion. So.
Well, just the sacrifice alone for anyone, like with crypto being as big as it is, everyone's a VC now coming into that.
Yeah, dude.
It's a totally new way to do things.
Well,
I don't know who you are. I don't know who this person is. They get these coins. It's amazing.
It's funny. I've talked about this before. It's like you see stuff like Godwell and everything, right? And he's an OG Ethereum holder, and he's become a billionaire just because he was in at the Genesis block of Ethereum. Yeah. Guess what? We're all the Godwell on PulseChain on PulseX. Like, we are in on the ground floor. So even if you weren't an OG in Hex, guess what? You're now taking up the mantle of a potential god whale. It's just how diamond are your hands, right? You don't have the staking feature Hex, so you got to keep that in mind. You have to have the ability to hold, but you guys are all coming in as essentially VC investors before the chain has even launched. So it's a great opportunity. Don't squander it. Set your mind for it now. You have time to prepare your strategy. And ultimately, you don't have to think too hard about it. Just hold.
Yep. I already know my strategy for PulseX. Like, everything I get from my sacrifice, I'm not getting rid of, like, at all. And then once it starts dipping a little bit, I'll start DCing in, to get at a discount.
Yeah.
And then, I'll make additional plays with that. You know what I mean? But my initial bag that I get, I'm not getting rid of any of it.
Yeah. Don't touch it.
Me either. I'm not touching anything.
Boys,
I'm not even
real
touching
quick,
my
not to interrupt,
Hex.
man. But I actually got to start heading out, man. I appreciate the call today. It's been awesome, man. I learned a lot from you guys. I've been even taking notes. You guys just talking and stuff.
Saw you, Ryan.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, man, always, bro. I'm always taking notes, bro. No.
I got to bounce too in a minute.
Yeah, I got to bounce
I
soon too.
appreciate you guys, man. I'm gonna head out, but thank you guys so much. Have a great night. Stay blessed.
All right.
I appreciate
Later,
it.
bro.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Peace.
Appreciate you.
Always.
Are you guys gonna keep going? Because I got to bounce too.
Nah, we can call, bro.
Yeah,
I'm tired.
Yeah,
I'm working all day.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Thanks for coming on, Molly. It was good to see you again, bud.
Yeah, thanks for having on. It was great.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
for
the
having
outro
us.
too.
Appreciate it.
Chat, everybody in chat. It was nice. We gotta get you in
Expert.
Yeah, there it is.
You know?
You see, I told you, Dan. People would like this.
I got my hat at hexmerch.com. Hexmer got his sweater there.
I
look
see
at
it.
this.
Thank you, sir.
There's a Hex hoodie I got that got Scrooge McDuck on it.
I love that one.
Oh, Molly,
I get so many compliments on that. I get a lot.
Molly, you gotta hook them up with a code.
That shit's sick. I'm trying to think of a code.
No, I'm saying one for their shows. They can have for the show.
Yeah, for sure. Just one of you guys hit me up and we'll get you one.
Bet.
Whatever you want it to be.
I want a real good code because I bought a lot of shit.
You tell me whatever you want the code to be and I'll make it.
We gotta get you and you and Wendy's got to come on here together one day. We can set that
Okay.
up. I'd love that for you two to be on here.
Cool.
So, all right,
Sounds
I'm gonna
good.
bounce. Thanks again, everybody. Danny, boy, see you guys next week.
Take care, everyone.
All right, later,
See
guys.
you guys.
All right,
Peace.
have a good one. I'll play the outro. Peace. Have a
Do
good
the
one.
outro for sure. Yeah.
Thanks for coming on, Motley.
Yeah, of course, bro.
Tap.
DJ, spin
Bullish.
that shit.
Thanks. Peace
Are
out.
we?
What are you, some sort of Mexican?